What's up, YouTube? How you guys doing today? Welcome to Morphing Around Podcast with another episode with Lenny from Demotic Reptiles. How you doing, Will?
Good. As good as can be.
Yeah, good as can be. For sure. I feel you. Yeah, we're still working on new commercials. I got a couple made. So we'll be busting one of those out today for you guys. Car can't be with us today because unfortunately Car's still working. So adult life kind of sucks. Being a slave to the system. That's how it is. You already know. So before I bring out Lenny real quick, you know how we do. We got the intro video for him. So roll the intro. All right. Heck yeah, man. And what's up, Lenny? Uh-oh. He's frozen. Oh, there he is. Heck yeah. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
Doing good. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, man? Like what you do?
Yeah, it's pretty much breed ball pythons, clean rat shit, clean snake shit. just 24/7, think about reptiles, think about ball pythons, and yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I've been doing it for the last 13 years, 10 years breeding, but the last probably 20 years keeping reptiles, if not longer.
Hey, okay. So you've been in the game for a while, huh?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Heck yeah. What's up, Tammy? What's up, Mission Moore? Let me catch up on my chat real quick. Arvin, how you doing? James, what's up? Make sure you guys like that smash button. Like it. Tammy, say hi to everyone. What's up, Ramry? I gotta make Mission Moore's blue. All right, you're blue, bro. Make sure you guys are freaking dropping your links too in my chats, man. To support yourself. Throw your links down. Let people follow you. That's what we're about. So, what are your main projects?
Pretty much paint. A lot of paint stuff. I got paint clowns. Hopefully being produced this year. I did a couple of. I did paint the Ultramel this year. Unfortunately, 8 eggs, 8 males. So pretty sucky odds. So I got to run that pairing back just to try to get more paint head. Ultramel double head Ultramel paints in female version. And running that paint boy to a bunch of dreamsicles and anything recessive, honestly. But yeah, I'm just big into paint. I like to paint stuff a lot.
So you're the paint guy, huh?
I'm not the paint guy. I'm really behind on it, but I want to become somewhat a paint guy.
Paint guy. That's like kind of like that's kind of like your focus. Because I think like my collection is based out of like hypo DG clown stuff with a little bit of everything kind of sprinkled in there. But it's mostly DG hypo stuff. Will, what's your question? Really based around? Are you still working towards that? What's up, Mike?
Still working towards what?
What's it focused around? Aren't you like kind of focusing it around sunset and stuff?
Sunset, clown pied, hypo.
What are you doing with your sunset?
Right now, I have a pair of double het sunset pieds.
Okay.
That I can't seem to get to lock up at all. So I'm looking at getting some other stuff that add into it.
Yeah, I like the sunset pieds. I was thinking about grabbing a couple of double heads from Bob. I like that project a lot. I'm not a big fan of the clown pied sunset, but I like them by themselves.
I got mine from Lucas, from Kai at Lucas Landon.
Yeah, he had nice stuff. That's the paint guy. That's the paint guy.
The paint guy.
That's the paint guy.
That's funny. I tell my one weed man that all the time because he's the same way. I'm like, oh, dude, like I'm going blind, man. Looking at your bald head off. Yeah, spot though. Like, it's hilarious.
I would wear my hat. I got a halogen light above my head, burning. I'm sweating so much now.
Right? No, you're good. You're good. How many animals do you have right now in your collection?
Probably close to 300.
Okay, dang.
Yeah,
Look at that.
yeah.
Do you plan on expanding that at all, Adam? Or is it just it's probably just slowly growing with all your holdbacks and stuff?
So the holdbacks, I didn't hold anything back this year. Well, I held back 2 clutches back this year so far. I still have 5 clutches in the incubator. I held back triple head Ochmel clown parts, and I held back. What did I hold back? Oh, quad heads, genetic stripe, clown, pied, G stripe. I held that back. So those are the only things I held back. Yeah, but I have 1065. That's full of holdbacks. I have 35540s full of adult females. I just actually fed before I even came up here. And then I bought that mini 130, which probably has about 30 slots left. Thankfully, I have a handful of shows coming up, so that should be hopefully a quarter empty by the time everything hatches out. But yeah,
if you guys have any questions for him too, shoot them in the chat. We'll answer them for sure. We got CHI Firehead Sunset proven for a female killer clown. Didn't really want the pastel, but had to hopefully hit some double head. For sure. I just have the getting ready to cut the triple heads. I'm hoping to have some leopard in there, but I did the zebra DG hypo stuff. That'd be nice.
I like that. I was speaking to. I don't know if you got familiar with Robbie from our Gen Reptiles. Our Gen. I was talking to him earlier. He has a couple double head DG zebras, so I might pick up a pair from him. I like that project a lot. I like zebra. I'm just a little iffy with zebra because it's so close to possibly being a Mackenzie. So I don't want to drop big dollars just to realize I got burned. But yeah.
Well, I've seen Mackenzie in person. As babies, they look similar. As in adults, completely different.
Yeah. And that's what I've seen too. You see the comparison and you see the difference. So it's just very, it's very. I'm just iffy on it. Not completely, but yeah.
Yeah, I think the zebra resembles Striker a little bit more than Mackenzie. I see that being more, but I haven't seen a full-grown Striker, and we haven't seen. At least I haven't seen, and people that I'm in group chats with haven't seen the super pastel Mackenzie yet either. So like that's where you're really going to differentiate because super pastel with zebra is just people like it. I don't have pastel in my zebra. I don't like it. It's not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I just did the leopard with do my triple head. I might let go
I like that.
Let go of a pair. I gotta see. I have 6 eggs. I got 6 eggs out of that. So if I can hit the odds and stuff, I might let go one pair. We'll see.
Okay.
So
that's a cool pairing.
Well, did you get blocked from that? That was funny. You two are something else. They were debating the I posted a twister on Morph ID Wednesday.
Twister and Orbit.
Yeah, and he's like, "Yup," and Anna came on or whatever and got defensive and defended it and stuff. And I mean, like the pictures that she showed me, they were different. I haven't seen too much of it and stuff, but to me they look extremely different. But it just depends on I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. One day we'll it is what it is.
Yeah, right.
There's so much new stuff out there, with shed testing now, like it's a whole nother ball game. You know what I mean?
But even like the shed testing with confusion and acid, apparently that's different, which I'm shocked that that's even different.
I knew it was. I had a feel. I was like, dude, they look slightly like acid's more busier, but like it's similar. Like I can see like zebra and Mackenzie being the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, we'll see or stuff like that. So I can see something like relatively the same, like that. I hope they're different. I think Mackenzie and zebra are different. I'm so skeptical because I'm just that type of guy. Because with my.
Let me ask you a question. If you think if they are the same, you think the zebra tanks, or you think Mackenzie goes up?
I think they meet in the middle.
Yeah.
At what? $300?
No, I think because the way zebra is and stuff like that, I think you're probably because like single gene zebras right now are going for like 3,500 and stuff.
Oh, they're still that much? Okay.
So I think you're probably I think that because I had this discussion too. I think that the Mackenzies go up a little bit. And I think the zebras go down, so they meet in the middle, probably around the 15. Like for like a single gene one, I think you're looking at 1,500 or so. But then at that point and stuff, like it's gonna be a lot like the monsoon and moray, like where you can't keep the line secret because they're just gonna fucking, you know what I mean? Like you're not gonna keep the true lines in.
Pretty much.
So I'm glad that I got what I have, so I can keep my lines pure. You know, and it's just like what Ozzy did, you know, with the Orange Dream and all that. Like he just kept line breeding. He got the best of the best, and then the high OD stuff, you know, all that. Like, that's great line breeding. So like I said, we'll see, and that's the same thing with hypos and stuff. Because you see the different quality of hypos.
Oh yeah, without doubt, yeah.
So some of them, you know, are orange ghosts, and they were bred to a hypo. Like that last clutch I had, like mom was a het orange ghost, dad was just a hypo. You know, like. It is what it is.
My opinion, the orange ghosts are the best lines. But I think shed testing, I think they're all was able to be the same now when you shed test.
They're all compatible.
Yeah, they're compatible. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The only one that's not compatible is the green ghost.
Yeah.
Which I know Ken's working it actually. He did say he was working it because like a lot of people don't work it. Now the only problem is the people that don't work it. It's hard to sit there and find stuff to buy into unless you're making it yourself. You know, you gotta take a little bit longer route because it's not available.
Exactly.
Yeah, orange ghost is nice. You get more of an orange tint to it and stuff like that. Like orange ghost is really nice.
That's my favorite line.
Yeah, Jerry Robinson worked with it, and he makes some cool stuff with it. So what project are you in, man?
I'm in everything really. Heavy into triple heads. I have breeding 1.2 this year of DG clown pods. I also have what else? I have G stripe hypo clowns, triple heads. So a bunch of triple heads I have raised up that should be going this year. We have hypo DG pods. We have hypo DG clown triple heads. So pretty much when this whole COVID thing happened of like everyone buying, and when it started dying down and no one could sell anything really because the market just like somewhat not crashed but just peaked out. That's when I started just pretty much making a bunch of holdbacks because I felt like sales weren't going to be really, you know, the way it was during COVID, and that's kind of like what happened. So I just went with instead of making animals to sell, I made animals just to keep holding back and just build up the, you know, I guess the future of demonic reptiles, but. Yeah, pretty much a lot of triples, quads, and you know even doubles. I kind of don't even work doubles unless it's with paint because paint's still pretty somewhat new, even though it's been around for years. But it's getting hot, so yeah, I'm trying to get into a lot of different stuff.
Does say the hypo's starting to get hot again too. You know what I mean? Like I saw, it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna do a breeders roundtable before Tinley and stuff, and we might do an after Tinley if you want to come back and stuff. Like, are you going to? Are you going to Tinley?
50-50. I gotta see, man. I gotta see. Yeah.
Word. Yeah, because like when we were there in spring, there was a lot, and I mean a lot of DG hypo stuff there. So it's going to be interesting to see what people hatched out. You know, all the new hatchlings are out now. It's be interesting to see what people are going, and we can see what's hot, what's not. I try to stay away from the trend. You know, I try to do my own thing.
You have to. You have to stay away from that. Going that route is just a dying star, man. Like it's just a flesh in the pan. You're gonna go that route and you're just not gonna come back up. It's pretty much like if you're into stocks, it's pretty much if you want to play it safe and like, oh, I want to do what you're doing. I want to do exactly what you're doing. You're not gonna go anywhere doing what someone else is doing.
No.
You know, you have to do your own. You gotta be different. You gotta be risky. You gotta be risky too. You gotta take a risk. You gotta hold stuff back. You gotta produce things that no one's doing. People are doing Xanthic sunsets, which I think is gonna be insane. I've been talking about that for years, and people think it's a stupid idea. I don't think so at all. I think it's gonna be really, really interesting.
Good. That is going to be interesting because sunset browns out anyhow. It's ugly as hell as an adult. We'll see what Xanthic does to it. Screw it. Like I don't. It's not gonna see. My thing with the Xanthics though is like you want a pattern mutation on that. Sunset's
Which,
not a
Sun,
pattern.
which Sunset had somewhat it had more of a pattern than people think it does. You know, I think I don't think it's gonna save. It's not gonna save Sunset or save Xantic. You know, like Xantic's good by itself. Sunset still needs a lot of tweaking with other projects, with other genes. But I think it's gonna be interesting to see. I don't think it's gonna be I need or people need, but I think it's gonna be really cool to see.
It's going to be really cool. With that as well, like, you know, Miguel, always evolving Python, he did an update. It was a couple months ago, guys. I've been slacking on YouTube videos and stuff. I just don't have time right now. It's so hard, and I gotta get better at it. But he did in the one video he did the post of the DG Sunset as a sub adult, and it still looked good.
Yeah. I'm shocked it doesn't look better. It looks good. It looks really good compared to a regular Sunset. But I really thought DG was going to save that mutation. I really thought it was going to really bring those. Yeah.
It needs hypo too. You need DG hypo.
Yeah. I think you need a super lace DG Sunset to really get it going.
Yeah, you're probably right. I didn't even think about that. The market is so untapped for breeding wise. You know, people say like, oh well, you know, COVID prices and stuff like that. You're never gonna see that again unless they shut down.
You never. Even if they shut it down, man. I think people's been on that frenzy of panicking, and we already know what happens after. So even if we don't get stimmy checks and all that crap, no one's gonna be investing in the animals again like they did. They're gonna invest in different stuff, you know.
Well, it's that in the economy, the market. It's the reason why the market is because the economy is so high right now because it's such crap. It's not going to go back to what it was. People are so used. You know, if you're a company, I try telling people all the time, like if you're a company and people are used to paying, you know, this high price for 4 years, you know, they're making record profits. Why are you going to come down your price? You're not. Okay, so this is
exactly
right. Like so. Now families and people are having to decide, like me myself too, like you got to decide like, oh well, do I have food, do I need gas instead, like, you know, everything's so high, like you just don't have that extra money to be throwing into animals anymore.
No, it's so true. Like I'm always having a conversation, you know, daily, weekly with people, but yeah, it's like you come back to the point of like, can you be a breeder and afford to actually just live life normally? And things are so expensive. Like when I do shows and I see other people do shows, like, oh, you did pretty good. It's like, yeah, I did good, but I didn't do what I used to do because of, you know, it's not. I don't expect someone to spend $500 or $600 on an animal if you guys can't pay, you know, your bills or groceries or God forbid something happens to your car or something happens unexpectedly. That's $600. Like that's or whatever you need is an extra amount of money that you guys may not have. And it's like I don't expect people to buy animals, you know, as of right now. Unless it's an investment, you know, that's the only. I don't see people buying pets or mediocre price pets. It's kind of I'm gonna go high with investment, or I'm gonna go really, really low, and whatever happens type stuff.
I'm seeing it like the local shows around here are just more pet quality stuff. Now there's a couple of shows that are kind of like breeders. There's some breeder stuff over there, but I'm seeing it like, you know, most people are only going to sit there and spend under $500 for an animal. Expo, you know, so people are like, oh well, you sold that snake or you did this much for it. Well, I mean, after my costs, my table fees, my gas, you know, I'm maybe only made $250. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's better than nothing, you know, but
it's better than nothing. Like I tell people all the time, because there's some new people that come into the hobby and they do a show and I, you know, meet them at a show and they're like, man, I hope I make a couple $100. I'm like, it took me about 1.5 years to actually make a single dollar from vending. You know, I've been there for 1.5 years and I didn't make $1. You know, packing, driving, hotels, I didn't make $1. Now, you know, when I left, that was when I was vending in New York, you know, the White Plains. But now out here, you know, I could rely on a decent amount per show, like it's almost like a given. But there's still some shows. Like I did a show maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. It was a Sunday. I didn't make anything Saturday. Sunday it was about 3 o'clock. A guy bought a Posset male Sunset for me for $40. I didn't think it was going to prove out. Thankfully, he shed tested it and it proved out. So he got a great deal. So I'm talking to my buddy. It's like 3:30. Show closes at 4, and I'm like, okay, I made $40 for the week. Great. 5 minutes later, a guy bought an OD Dream School for me for $1,800. And I'm like, wow. And I'm like, okay, well, you know. But at the end of the day, I was humble. It's $40. It's whatever. You know, I got my banner. I'm showing my face. I'm putting the work in. Networking. So it's not always about the profit, even though 9 out of 10 times people want the profit, and it's nice to know that I just like to know that my animals are nice enough that somebody actually wants. That's what I'm trying. Yeah, that's the goal. At the end of the day, when I have a whole crap load of snakes on the table, I'm like, nobody. I get more upset with it. I'm like, nobody wants my animals. Not like, oh, nobody wants to give me money. That's not what it is. It's like, I'm more like, nobody wants what I have. That's more of my thinking.
See, I did Kalamazoo last weekend, and I had it set up and stuff like that. And I had a lot of people come up to me and was like, hey, you have some really nice, clean animals and stuff like that. What's up, Brian? How you doing, man? We need to get you on the show. He's at work right now.
This dude.
He's the one that he made your highlight reel.
Oh, I love that guy.
Highlight reel. He gave me told me to freaking come like get him on the podcast and stuff. Like, all right, I never heard of him.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man.
So is it Brian or is it Holly?
That's true. We don't know what one it is.
Yeah.
Brian
don't do anything, so.
Yeah, Brian's at work right now.
Yeah, Brian don't do anything, so it's all Holly.
But yeah, I went to the show and just people didn't buy any of my animals, but they bought a lot of cocoa because I did, and that was the thing, like with the economy and stuff, like I had to sit there and lower my cocoa prices. I had to because everyone else was doing it. I can't sit there and I want people to afford the best and have the best, but if my prices are too high, they're trying to save a buck or two just because it's better, but it's more expensive, so I
what cocoa do you sell?
Go for cocoa.
Okay, so I was a distributor for Reptichip for about 2 years, right before COVID. So we were selling. I was able to sell a bag for about $13. That was like a low price. Yeah. And then when COVID happened, man, I had to sell bags for $30 a bag, and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm out because man, it was just like I know what it was, and me as a person knowing that it was only $12 now $30, I didn't feel comfortable carrying it around, selling it, people for X amount more money. I know people need it, but to me, $30 for a bag of bedding, I don't feel like it's worth it. I'm not saying anything to you. I just
the
reality. I do. I feel like that's just
I do the $30 of bedding for one bag, but then you start getting big bulk discounts the more you. You know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah.
But I will say I was using Reptichip at one point, and it's so dusty where the cocoa is not.
It is dusty. I 100% agree. It is dusty.
So that's why you're getting that better quality. Yeah, it's a little bit more, but you start buying in bulk, and your price comes down to about Reptichip prices, and that's how I have it.
Yeah. Exactly.
But back to the expos and stuff. It was cool because, like I said, I changed the display. I used those white little bedding things. Those that the
the diamond dry.
I used that the dry stuff and the white LED lights and the display case really made them pop. I got a lot of compliments on it, and I was like, heck yeah, man. They're like, your animals are really clean. That's a nice display. I'm like, heck yeah, dude. Like, I didn't sell anything, snake wise, but just to hear that, I'm like, all right, like that was worth it.
No,
you know what I mean?
It's true, man. It's like a business. Well, it is a business. You gotta make it look good. You gotta make everything look clean. Like you gotta make people want to come. I did a show probably three weeks ago. I wasn't feeling well at all. I had my banner with me and everything. I didn't even put it up. I didn't feel good. I was just sitting there. I didn't feel good at all. I didn't sell a single thing that day. And then the next show, I put my banner up, felt better. Sold a bunch of stuff. It's just like you got to be in it too. You got to really feel like you got to make it all look grand, and you want people to be like, oh, what's over there? I want to see what's going on over there, type stuff.
That and it's how you engage your customers too. Like, are you sitting there? Are you really engaging them, or are you half-assing it? There's been days too, like where I felt like crap, or I was just like I was tired, I was exhausted from work and stuff like that. I was like, I just didn't feel like it. I was going through the motions.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not like it is a grind. People don't understand that.
No, it is a grind, man. You're talking about us waking. A lot of people don't know. We're packing that Friday. We're waking up early that Saturday. We're setting up. It's like like at the time we're done setting up, we're like, okay, I don't want to see a person right now because you just feel so burnt out already. But you can't be that guy. It's like going to your 9 to 5. You got to put that fake smile on and do your job. You know, I enjoy what I do. I love
I do
telling
too.
people about animals. I love what I do, man. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still work, and nobody likes work.
Oh, I mean, so how many times a year? I'm gonna be honest with you. How many times a year are you like, screw it, I'm done. I just want to sell out. Like, I just want to quit.
I've had those darts a lot the last probably about 2-3 years ago. You know, around the whole COVID time. Especially when I hear people bickering about the market, that doesn't bother me at all no more. You know, it is what it is. I don't really care. You know, but I get those darts. You know, more dealing with personal issues that I want to get out, not because of the animals, but more of me dealing with stuff I'm dealing with. It makes the animals make it definitely harder on me, but the animals itself, man, I could do this forever. You know, as long as I'm healthy or healthier, I'm fine with staying in the game. But there's been years where I'm like, I don't care if I'm done this year. You know, like I want to do it as long as possible. I want to make it to the point where I become a household name, or I'm making, you know, close to high 6 figures a year. You know, where it's not just about the money, but more about like I accomplished something that I did for the last 10 years to a point where, hey, I didn't waste my life and my time doing this. I actually made it work. You know,
right? For sure. All right, guys, real quick, I'm going to take a quick commercial break real fast. We're going to regather real quick. I'm going to show you one of the new clips for Morph ID Wednesday. Make sure you guys are tuning into that every Wednesday, besides next Wednesday, because we're taking a break. What's up, everybody? Welcome to ID Wednesday. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. Welcome to this week's show. What? Will and Carr, a.k.a. the Sunglass Crew today, just because why not?
He is. He's frosty. Like I like this name.
I love
I'm
this
supposed
thing.
to send him to me, but it's taking forever.
Oh yeah. You can see what the black pastel does. I mean, it's, you got a picture, you know, picture of that, you know, you can see the pattern. What's on the line? $350 Morph Market credit from me, $100 Morph Market credit from Will, Justin, $100 Morph Market credit for him.
There we go. I got a timer.
You got a timer? Yes, Mr. Do this. I have no idea. It just looked cool.
I have no idea.
There's a little reel we put together.
I like it.
Well, AKA the Sunglass Crew. Like we were all tired that day. That was a long day, man. Yeah, we have fun. We have fun on Wednesdays. I said we are taking a bit of a break. We try to have, you know, commercials and stuff like that, and you know, after so long or whatever, like you gotta try to keep the commercials fresh. And we've been slacking on it as a group and stuff like that. So Will was working on one. I made two. I made that one, and I put yours together. I put your highlight reel together.
Thank you, man.
Yep, no problem. That's why I wanted your pictures and stuff. So I did that. It takes a lot of work, man.
Mm-hmm. It does. It does.
I was asleep waiting for this show to start. It was a good show. That was a good show, Tammy. That was a good show. Let's see here. What we got here. Make sure it's okay. They're talking about Cypress and stuff like that in the chats. But all right. So, what have you learned in the last 10 years breeding, man?
Yeah, it's not easy. The breeding's easy, but doing this every day, day in and day out. Like I mentioned today about having a flood, man. Like I woke up this morning, drove an hour and a half to get rats, came back and came home to a flood, in the snake room. Thankfully, I had my buddy over, cleaning his collection, so he was able to, help with the flood before it got worse. But if he wasn't here today, and if I didn't get home in time, you're talking about maybe a couple 100 gallons of water in the basement. Yeah. So I have these two. I have one hose that goes into a different room, and this hose goes into my main room. So I'm trying to find. Yeah, there you go. So pretty much the pressure on this hose burst and hit my mini 1065. Half those tubs had half-inch of water. Like I had snakes sitting in water from the pressure of the water just hitting that rack, and then I had water everywhere. So
Dang.
and then right after that, I couldn't even finish. I helped him a little bit. I had to feed, unload rat feed, unload the rats, feed a couple, and then I had to go to a doctor's appointment. So I just got the moment that I jumped on now is the moment I just got back from my day. So I've been out since 9 o'clock this morning doing snake stuff. So it's a grind, and I feel like like getting back to what I've learned that you do need a network a lot more than you think you do.
You do.
I was never a big fan of, like, not saying networking, but I didn't think it was a big deal as much as it is now today. It's definitely a big deal. You definitely want to get out there, put your name out there as much as possible. Upgrade anything you could do, like upgrade displays, upgrade banners, make reels. I know I make a bunch of reels, but I make a bunch of stupid reels because I don't have time. It is, man. You know, I don't mind looking like an ass or looking corny, but I just don't want to be in front of a camera acting stupid or looking stupid.
Oh yeah.
So I rather just like take a reel, edit it, put some funny words into it, and make it somewhat funny. I'm just not into, you know, being in front of the camera 24/7 like some YouTubers are. Or that's how YouTubers.
Even that, I mean, there's some podcast stuff out there where people are sitting there smoking weed in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Like, you know, it's just like, I get you're trying to have a good time, but at what point are you trying to be more professional with your podcast and stuff like that and give good information out there while having to smoke a joint or drinking in front of the camera? You know what I mean? Like, you know, I see that all.
There's definitely levels and standards to what we should be doing. You know, there is. You know, I think we forget, and I know I do it too. I know I post a lot of political stuff or certain stuff that I shouldn't be, because I'm thinking, you know, I'm Lenny. I'm the demonic reptile. So it's like I don't have a boss. I am my boss. But I also need to understand I'm not 18 years old no more. I have consequences when I post something or say something or share something, and I'm starting to realize that at 35 years old that I can't say and post anything I want without looking like a radical, a leftist, or, you know, anything too crazy, which I'm not. And I need to, like, you know, I'm just post stuff because I think it's interesting. So I'll post it, I'll share it. But somebody else could be like, "Wow, that looks racist." I see the way it comes off. Like, me personally, I don't see it that way, but I guess some people could see it that way, or some people like, you know, I have a boss. You know.
Is that your wife?
No, that's not my wife. Who, Limey?
Okay.
No. Limey's one of the biggest paint breeders, honestly.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah.
I got you.
Well, he's my expo wife.
Oh, okay. Will's mine. Me and Will are always slacking lately, but usually, you know, if I'm at an expo, Will's there right next to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's my expo wife.
Yeah.
Limey knows when I make money, because when I make money, I buy stuff from him, so he knows when I have a good show.
He gets all. That's funny. He's like, "You're only my wife when you want me."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've done the same. I have, you know, at one point I tried keeping my personal Facebook separate from my business account, and it was so hard. People started adding me, and I get my name out there and stuff like that. I'm like, you know what, whatever. It's easier for me to post my personal account as well as the Morse Facebook thing too. So I try to do both. But at that point, I was like, man, I gotta really watch what I'm posting. Like, even like the funny memes, stuff like that. Like, I think it's funny, still representing myself as well as my business, and I try to carry myself very in the podcast as well, very professional. Like, unless I'm at an expo and then you see our shenanigans and stuff like that with the donuts and stuff like that. You know, we do have fun, you know, but I try to keep it a little bit kid friendly too, as much as I can. I try not to sit there and drop F-bombs, or, you know, unless I'm really mad at something, you know. So
sometimes we forget we're on camera.
Yeah, sometimes I forget camera, especially at expos and stuff. Like, Will really bad at that. I'm like, dude, like, we're watching. Like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm like, dude, like, you know, like, we got kids watching this and stuff. So I try to make it as kid friendly and as information as I can, because I want people to sit there and enjoy my channel. Like, hey, this is a good channel. They give good information. They do good interviews with other people. Like, you know, I've seen podcasts where Justin was on, like Kabelka and stuff like that. And, you know, you know, bigger people, and, you know, they're freaking smoking, and he's just kind of like, I can't do that.
You can tell he's not comfortable. You can tell he's not comfortable.
I don't blame him. Even as big as a breeder as he is, like, he doesn't want to be associated with that. Like, I wouldn't want.
I mean, the only reason you should be smoking weed on a podcast is if your podcast and stuff is about that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you know, if you want to go do it on your own time, go do it on your own time. Just don't do it in front of the camera. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, that's just my take on it. Like, you know, like if you gotta go take a break and come back and do your thing, you know. But like, don't sit there in front of this camera and sit there, you know, like, hey, like, come on, man. I get it's legal and stuff. Like, I got no problems with it and stuff. I'm saying, just don't do it in front of the camera, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, back to the snakes and stuff.
No, you're good, man.
No, I mean, it's just the part of the aspect. People just don't, you know, I see it all the time. And I don't think I've ever really discussed it on my podcast and stuff. And, you know, we upgraded the podcast, and, you know, at one point I was that guy. Like when I first started doing the podcast, I was always drinking. We were always drinking on the podcast, and it was bad. And we were like, dude, we got to stop. Like this isn't professional of us. So we stopped doing it. You know, we upgraded. And I think the podcasts have done way better because of it, honestly. So
yeah, it's more of a positive vibe, I guess. I guess it's kind of like going back of like, you know, like I was saying earlier about like me posting certain stuff. Like it's like I'm not a fake person, so it's like I don't want to come off to someone I'm not. Where like if you meet me in person, you're like, oh, you're kind of a little bit more rougher than you appear. It's like, well, I don't want to be a cartoon on Instagram and then also be this different adult in person. Like, oh, you're a little different. So it's like I try to be, well, not try. I am the same day in and day out. I just have problems with like almost like Brian, like ball check. Almost the way when you used to watch like a snake fights, like he would just like have a mellow tone, and all of a sudden now he has this big character tone. It's like, you know, I love Brian. Brian, you know, I miss him every day. Not seeing his vlogs, but it's like I couldn't accept the fakeness. I'm not saying him being fake. Just I understand what he had to do to get to those levels of success of viewers and followers. But I just couldn't find myself just being a character in reality. You know,
you gotta have that. See, like I think
who I am.
Yeah, I
exactly, 100%.
I think I am. Like, if you see me on a podcast and you see me in person, there's no change.
No.
Yeah.
I think Will can contest that. Will knows me pretty good. Like, there's no change in my demeanor, nothing like that. Like, there's times like I come out a little strong, like, you know, more energetic towards the podcast, like the intros. But other than that, like, I talk how I talk, and you know, I am, you know, how I am in real person, like I am in the podcast.
I think
be like that.
I was about to say that it takes more energy and more work to be fake than actually be real. You know? Yeah.
It does. You know, I have a lot of people
like Glenn. Glenn works 12-hour shifts. I don't work 12-hour shifts, but I work outside for a roofing company. So like, I by the time when I get home to do these, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can see my tan lines.
Right.
Like, I'm tired. I'm burnt. Like I'm burnt out. Like just from the heat. So, like the house we did today had no shade in it at all. So I was out in the sun from 8 o'clock to 3.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, I was freaking that one podcast we did. That one podcast that we did on Wednesday. We were all tired. We were tired. Like, if it was up to me, I wouldn't even have done that podcast. But I was committed to it. You know, that's why we did it. We got it done. We got through it. You know,
exactly.
Sometimes it is a grind. You know, and you know, people got to understand. I do usually when I do the Wednesday podcast, I'm off of a 12-hour shift. I work 6 to 6. And then I come home, freaking, I got to upload something real quick for the pictures that we send each other. I upload them real quick, and I'm setting up the podcast. We're ready to roll. Do it for an hour, freaking, take my shower, you know, get ready for bed, take a shower, whatever, eat, and I'm on bed and going back to work in my 12-hour shift. You know, and that's the grind of it. You know? Yeah, there's shows like where I look a little rough because I'm tired. I work, you know, 54 hours a week. You know, I don't work weekends. You know. And that's why
that doesn't even include family time, snake time, or anything, you know.
I mean, I don't have kids, so I mean that helps.
But it's good. You got your mom, you got your sister, you got your dad. I don't have kids either. I got my sister's kids.
It's still family, man.
It's still family.
Yeah.
Like, you still got to make time for the people in your that you like that are in your life.
Yeah.
So.
Anybody that's watching this, you know, we all have lives and stuff. So like people can relate. Like, you know, like we're not some superhero. Like there are days where I'm tired of shit and I don't feel like, you know, I still do it. You know, it's part of the grind. So I mean, I love it. It's fun. I love doing the podcast. I love watching stuff grow. I've gone back to my old videos and stuff. It's like, wow, like I came a long way. Like,
man, and that's me, man. When I go back and look at my videos, I'm like, I'm always thinking like I should be further than where I'm at. And then I go back to my old videos, I'm like, all right, I guess I'm where I should be at. Like, you know, it's definitely leaps and bounds. But yeah, you feel like you put so much time and effort. You feel like you should be further, you know, than you are. But again, like, you know, everything just takes time, man. You know, it's just a,
Yeah, because
it's not,
it's like anything. It's like a weight loss. If you're seeing yourself every day,
yeah.
do the same stuff, but minor changes here and there on a daily, weekly basis. But it's from 6 months ago to now. That's a big change. But you see
100%.
it every day, so it
You don't
doesn't
realize
look
it.
different.
And that's
you
why
don't see it. Yeah.
that's why I did the YouTube and stuff. I was like, I don't care who follows it. I don't care. At one point, it was just videos. Like, I just want to do this for my own personal journal.
Yeah, it's a personal journal. Exactly, man. Yeah. You look back at it, you know, when you have kids and show them,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. There was one guy I was talking to at the expo. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I followed you from the get-go, from your very first clutch. He's like, look at you now. I'm like, man, dude, like, that's deep. Like, that's
Right,
deep.
yeah.
I appreciate it, man. I do. I appreciate everyone that subscribes and follows and tunes into the podcast. Like, I've reached out to, you know, people that are constantly at, you know, when I do the live expos and stuff, and they're constantly popping in and out, dude. Like, you know, Tammy's one of them. You know, she's always on my, you know, and I personally, like, hey, I see you. I appreciate you, like, so much. Thank you so much. Like, all you guys, like, K&D's always there. Eric's bought some snakes off of me. Like, you know, Greenline's been on the podcast as well. Will's hella, he's always on in my chats and stuff too. Like, you know, it's everybody. Like,
I don't know how he has time to be on all the stuff that he's on.
He's a podcast warrior, man. That dude's everywhere.
Everything. He's all around everywhere.
Yeah,
it's hard, man. It's hard.
Do you have any jeans that aren't in your collection that you want to add?
Yeah, stranger, and oh man, what was I talking about? Redhead. Yeah, stranger and redhead. Yeah,
I'd like to get some redhead. Especially seeing those combos that we did last week.
Yeah,
or not last week, but Wednesday we did some redhead combos and stuff. I'm like, man, that was. I got one stranger. It's a stranger double head hypo clown.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah. I do got one stranger. It's a great quality. I got it from Kittner, actually. Yep. I got here. I'll pop her out real quick.
Yep. That was an interesting deal there.
Was it?
He put it on hold, and apparently Jason needed room because he's like, I know you, and he just sent him to him early.
Yeah. He's like, here.
Pay me.
He's like, because like I already bought one off of him that was pretty expensive at the time at Tinley. So like, and I've talked to him quite a bit. And I like, hey, I just need to put this on a payment plan. He's like, well, I'm just gonna ship it to you because it's almost winter. He's like, I was like, you just pay me when you can. I'm like, okay, like when you hear you want to add this snake onto it too. So I got a VPI Pied Grow too. So I was like, yeah, dude, I got you. And I you know, I had some issues and stuff like where I didn't get to pay him right away. I was like, hey, like we'll put my envoy in a ditch. We got to fix that real quick. Oh no, you're good. You're good. I just kept communication with him, paid him off, and we were cool. But I think great stranger quality, man. She's getting up.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's a big boy, man.
That's a girl.
Oh yeah, no, I'm about to say she's big. Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, she's solid, man. I got the black pastel hypo clown to go to her.
Oh, I like that.
That'd be nice. That'd be dope because you know a stranger black pastel hypo clown. Yes, please.
Oh yeah.
I hit the red stripe. I hit a red stripe black head pin double head hypo clown girl too. So I got a double head hypo clown army I got going on here.
Yeah, I have a little bit of that too. I have some blackhead double head hypo clowns. I have chocolate OD double head hypo clowns. So I like the OD and the chocolate. And so I'm just working a lot with the hypo clown stuff. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I need to get some chocolate. I like the way that looks in a lot of stuff.
Oh yes, man, you do. Chocolate. I like chocolate, man. Especially you can double up on it, and double up looks so good. Yeah. And it's a cheap gene, man. It's cheap, but it looks great. You know.
It looks great. It was amazing. Oh, speaking about Blackhead, don't forget, I got one more week. She's available. She's on my market.
I have two of those.
He got the other two. I don't need her anymore because I have so much Blackhead. If I'm getting rid of her. But if she doesn't sell in the next week or so by Labor Day, I'm keeping her.
You produced her?
What was that? Yeah, I produced her. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I
Yeah,
have
she
her
was
2
good, man.
sisters.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Yep. Yeah, I produced that. So like I said, if anyone wants to get into the Hypo Clown project, double het, there you go. There's a good start for you because she's almost there.
Yeah, I highly recommend that project. I like the Hypo Clown stuff a lot.
I got a GHI spot nose clown double het hypo DG girl from from Canova. And then Big Country Constrictors was on last podcast, and I got a Cypress Lesser Yellow Belly Clown double het hypo DG boy from him.
How much you like Cypress, man? Cypress is sick.
I love it.
Right? Yeah.
He does check out Big Country Constrictors because he was on here. Check out his Instagram. He has a lot of Cypress and clown and hypos. Like, dude, it's freaking good.
That's why I made a lot this year. I made a lot of Cypress clown stuff, Cypress hypo stuff, but I also have a bunch of Cypress double het hypo clown stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you have anything real quick?
Amazing.
Well, do you have any questions for Lenny real quick?
I do. Where did you get the name Demonic Reptiles?
So it originally was LAC Reptiles, my initials, and then I went to the movies with my girlfriend, and I was getting a little upset, not upset, but a little bored with the name. You know, just like people started calling me Lack Reptiles, LAC Lack. So they called me Lack Reptiles, and I'm like, I don't like the way that it's coming off it because it would be LAC. And I'm like, I really don't care for that much. And everyone was doing like, because VHB, everyone was doing their initials and reptiles. So I went to the movies and I'm watching The Conjuring, and I'm just sitting there and I'm keep hearing talk about demonic. And I'm like, I couldn't get that word out of my head. So I'm like, you know what? I turned around to my girlfriend, I'm like, what do you think about demonic reptiles? She's like, I like it. Shut up. Let's finish the movie. So
it began.
The logo is awesome. Yeah. I love the logo.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I had an older logo. I don't know if you guys seen it, and I wasn't really happy with it because I felt like it didn't do the name justice. And then I hit up this. I know my buddy got a logo made. I'm like, hey man, where do you get that logo made? I like it. He gave me the guy's info. I told him what I wanted. I said I wanted a D and an R, and I wanted demonic reptile, something really simple. He did it, and I'm like, okay, it's cool. Then he made the D with horns, but the horns are really long and high up, and I'm like, I hate that. I'm like, I don't like it. I'm like, let's make the horns lower, just like little horns, and let's leave it like that. And then he's like, okay. So he sent me to finish. It was a D and the R, and I'm like, hey man, why don't we put the bottom of the R as a snake body? He's like, I could do that, no problem. And I figured D, demonic horns, R, reptile, snake, and I'm like, I love it.
Yeah, just roll with it, huh?
It was really hard, man, because the last 2 years, man, I've been going back and forth trying to make my own logo, trying to come up with different color schemes, and I'm like, I wasn't happy with my logo at all. But I want something that if you've seen it, you would see it and remember it and know it, and it's like that's why I wanted so bad. And for him to come up with that idea, and I'm like, this is it. I'm really, really happy with the logo.
Yeah, man.
I was expecting to see someone come out with like horns in their.
I was wondering
black eyes, you know.
How you got that name too and stuff. That's awesome. Because I did my very first logo. So like I did 41. A lot of people say it's 419. It's actually 419. That's our zip code. Okay. So mine's based off my zip code. And I was like, I don't want to do like war reptiles or something like that. Like I want something where I don't ever have to change it. You know, so I was like, I wonder if anyone has this. I was like 419. Like that's my zip code. I represent. I've been here. You know, I'm like, what can go with? I'm like morphs. Let's go morphs because like everyone uses reptiles. Like no one really uses morphs. Like, let's use morphs. And then I made my own logo. And that was a disaster. I rolled with it. It was bad. Like if anyone remembers and stuff, like it was like a cobra on it, like you know, like and nothing to do with ball pythons. It was it's an area code, not a zip code. My bad. It was horrible. Like I still have it on this table, actually, the original one. But you know, it made me think like how far I've came and stuff. And then
that's what it is.
Yeah, when I started investing bigger, because at one point I was like, I'll just do a couple projects and I'm not gonna be too big. And then it escalated. I'm like, all right, I gotta change this logo. Cool. So then I had Logo Professional do it. He did it, and he came up with that. I'm like, dude, like, that's freaking outstanding. Like, I love it. And
he did both our logo. That's who did my logo.
Yep, he did mine. He's working on Cars logo right now, actually.
Oh, hell yeah.
Cars changing his actually, but it's been 2 months. I didn't even wait 2 months, so he's kind of pissed off and stuff right now.
No, it took me 2 months too. I had my cousin had a logo made from him, and my 2 other friends, and they're like, man, he takes forever. I'm like, he's good. He's good. It did take about a month and a half, 2 months for a finished product. But as long as I knew someone who got it done from him, and I'm like, I'm not worried. And plus, he's not expensive at all. Like he's not.
He's not. And he's probably busy and stuff like that. I get it. You know, I think I only took. What's up, Fields? How you doing?
I think that's who did mine too.
It is. I told you.
What's up, Banner?
I told you to go to him because I referred you to him because you were thinking about a logo and stuff. I'm like, dude, go to
Sam, right?
What?
His name's Sam, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, I told
that's who did mine too.
Like this color scheme was like perfect. I already had this color scheme that I wanted for my first logo. Like, hey, you just need to change it. What is his name? It's Logo Professional. Look him up on Instagram. I think it's like
it's blue, black, and white. His logo. So if you see it, black and white.
He does great work, man. Great work.
He takes a while. So.
But like I said, like if it wasn't like I told Carr, I'm like, dude, if it wasn't for me and Will getting our logos from him for as long as he's taking, you almost think it was a scam, but he's not. Like he's legit.
100%. Yeah, he's legit. Yeah, 100% legit. And you know what it is too? He responds quick. You know, he's quick to respond. Yeah.
I actually had to contact him almost a year and a half later because I couldn't find the PNG file, the vector file, and he got it was like instant response from him.
Instant, yeah.
He still has all those files and stuff. So I mean, that's outstanding and stuff. And
I go ahead. Sorry.
You're good. Go ahead, man.
No, so I had a logo, my original logo made, and man, every time I needed like to make shirts or make anything, I had to hit him back up for that file to be usable again. So every time he gave me that one file, I can't reuse that file. So I never really even owned my logo until now with this guy.
Okay. See, I paid for the okay. Well, I'm gonna make you blue real quick, Will. The other Will. I got you, man. Hang on.
You're third Will.
Tune in, bro.
There's 3 of us now.
Yeah. So we all have. So we've all have logos made from Sam. That's awesome, man. Yeah. I paid for the upgraded package a little bit, so he gave me the file. So like when I go print off on shirts and stuff, like it looks legit. Where it's not blurry or anything like that.
Oh yeah. I have everything now from Will. From Sam. I have everything. I have intro. I have display cards. Like whatever I want to put it on. Like if I want to do business cards or banners, he made everything for me. And I asked him for that package, but the way he made everything, I didn't even tell him. He just made it, and I'm like, I love it. Like I love it. Like everything he did. There's so much he's done without me asking him to do, and I'm like, this is what I want. I'm like, wow. Oh, yeah. Like, thank you. Yeah.
Like he showed me like a couple. He's like, I'm gonna do this and this, and we kind of tweaked it a little bit. And he did this. And I'm like, I freaking love it, dude. Like that's when I first invested in the zebra and stuff like that. That's actually the zebra girl on my logo.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, man.
Like, that's pretty dope.
And my logo is a bumblebee, and I still have her. Like, I
took
a picture of the snake and sent it to him to put in my logo.
That's great. I like that.
All right, guys, we're gonna run our commercial real quick. We're gonna take a quick break. Stay tuned. We're not done yet.
Oh. What's up?
All right, we're back at you. Let's talk a little bit real quick. So you're on the 15 minutes of lame, going against Brian. You want to talk some shit about Brian real quick? No, I'm just kidding.
How much time do I got?
Yeah, I saw some of your reels and stuff. I'm like, Brian, like they're killing me right now, dude. Like they're roasting me.
Man, he's hysterical, man. Like that podcast alone, man. Like, I like his podcast more than anyone so far this year. It was too funny, man.
Right? Yeah, it was funny. I'm like I said, Brian helps me out. He's close to me. He's like 45 minutes from me. What's up, Fred? I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't talked to sorry, he distracted me. The comment distracted me. Yeah, Brian's not too far from me. Like he helps me at the expos and stuff, but he helps sell the Go for Coco. And I give him discount, I'm working on giving him a sales stuff too. And Brian's a really cool dude, man. He helps us in the background and stuff like that. It just sucks that he works second shift because he can't always come onto us, but that's why we're gonna do the let's do a breeders roundtable like twice a month or whatever on Saturdays. Like, bro, like I'm already busy as shit. That's my one.
Yeah, right.
And I got expos. I'm like, dude, that's not feasible, man. But I'm like, we will get together. So if anyone wants to come on the podcast, we do the breeders roundtable. It is open table. Come and go as you please. We did it the one time. Dude, it was so pop. We had everybody. I had Gavin. I had Kai.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had Gavin. I had Kai. Who else did we have, Will?
Keys popped in for a minute, I think.
Yeah, we had Keys.
Oh,
Keys
Billy.
was on for a little bit. Billy was on for a little bit. Dude, we had a little bit of everybody on there, dude. It was fun, man. It was good.
Heck yeah, man.
So yeah, so you definitely gotta come back and stuff for sure.
Oh, definitely, man, definitely.
So what do you got cooking? You got cooking in the incubator right now, man?
I have leopard, lightning pied to exantic head pied. So some of that.
Okay.
So I'll hit. Exantic head pied. So I'll have hopefully make more exantic pieds. I have right now that I just cut the other day was Cypress clown to special head clown, 4 eggs. Unfortunately, no clowns.
Wow. Did you hit the Cypress special on that?
I did Cypress special head clown female, so I might hold that back just to redeem. And I sold my special my special clown male at the last show because I was really thinking I was gonna hit something cool, but I didn't. So shot myself in the foot. I also have clown pie to ultramel in the incubator. This should be hatching out in a week. I also have what else? I have banana OD Mojave head clown to cinnamon clown. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, man.
And I have one more. I can't even think. I know there's one more in there. Oh, it is chocolate spot nose head clown to firefly Enchi head clown. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up? Heck yeah, man. Uh
Uh-oh.
oh. Technical difficulties.
TDs.
Right. Whoa, how's your wait, he's probably gonna come out and come back on here. Is what I'm guessing. He lost his connection. How's your hatchlings doing, dude?
Almost all of them are eating, and I should be able to take almost all of them in September.
That's what's up. Yeah, we're doing
room for all of them. I might have to borrow your
what?
Your other display case.
Oh, that that's right. You only have the one, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you need that display case, let me know, dude. I'll bring it.
Sorry about that, man. I had my alarm go off and apparently kicked me out.
Oh, I was like, oh no, you're good. You're good. You're good. Someone spilled holy water on the Wi-Fi. That's funny.
That is hilarious.
That's funny.
Anyone that's new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. We're doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway as well. I'm giving out more market credit. We're doing 3 blocks of Go for Coco for free shipping as well. A shirt, more than likely. Will's doing a more market credit. So is Brian. So is Carr. And anyone else that wants to throw down on it, let me know, because that will be our Breeders Round Table open podcast. We'll spin the win, baby. So you got to tune into. You want to throw down anything on that, Lenny? You got anything to throw down? Want to throw down a credit or anything?
I think I have a couple pennies. What do you guys need?
You want to throw down Morph Market credit? I mean, you can throw down Morph Market credit for your Morph Market, like $200 or $100 or something.
What does that even mean? Credit? What are you talking about? Yeah.
So if they win your credit, or whatever, they just get a hold of you or whatever. They Market, you $100 off.
Yeah, you can do do $150 off. That's fine.
There we go. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So we gotta get a flyer made and stuff. So.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I gotta get a flyer made because we did the 500. The last one was 500 subscriber giveaway, and
nice.
Billy jumped on and he was like, "I'll give $500 off my Morph Market credit." I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, oh shit, that's big. Yeah, that's big.
I was gonna say, he jumped in. He was in there for like 4 or 5 minutes, dropped that, and then left.
Yeah, I was like, "Okay,
baller." Yeah, what a baller.
Billy's a cool dude. I love Billy.
Yeah, awesome. Billy's great. Yeah,
it's really cool because I'll tell you a story real quick about Billy. I was on his Patreon. Okay, probably one of the best Patreons I've ever been on. You weren't a lot. And then I got hard up on money and stuff, so I had to cut it out and stuff like that. And he still talks to me, he still messages me, see how I'm doing and stuff. And I do the same, and that's awesome because that just shows like it's just not about the money for him. Like he actually cares, and I highly respect Billy and stuff and like what he's doing and stuff because of that. So he actually jumped on my podcast on Wednesday for a little bit. Hey, guys, I'm like hell yeah, dude. They turn up, and I messaged him, see how he was doing and stuff like that. And yeah, man, like I said, Billy's a cool dude, man. I said if you guys get a chance, you guys want to learn something, I definitely recommend Billy's Patreon. There's a lot of great information on it. It helped me evolve and helped me fix my question at times. And they do that chopping block where you give them your question and stuff like that. And they might help you with pairings or like stuff that you may not necessarily need. And when I did it, I felt really good about myself because Billy's like, "Holy shit, dude!" He's like, "You're powerful ass females." He's like, "What the hell?" He's like, "I don't really have nothing. He's like, I really don't have nothing to chop. I can tell you like some good ass pairings that you can do with shed testing and stuff." I'm like, okay, yeah. So I did a blackhead pin hypo to a Cypress red stripe leopard pet clown boy.
I like that.
I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna have some Cypress in that. I'm gonna do some shed testing on that for sure. So like I said, shed testing at another level, man.
So let me ask you a question with the Patreon. How does that work? Is it like you have to be there at a certain time to talk to him, or like?
Oh no. So what he does is like I did the top 2 tiers. I was on the second tier. It was like $100 or whatever, which was like investment quality type stuff. Okay,
got it.
You get access to his Patreon, all his posts and stuff like that. Okay, and then like if they do like they'll have like a scheduled meeting or like for the chopping block, if you can join or whatever, you can give your input, stuff like that. He'll post his videos on it. He'll post his learning videos. It's not on YouTube. It's kind of like YouTube, but it's more information. He'll do lives of like, okay, like your breeder 1, breeder 2, breeder 3. This is what breeder 3 has. This is what breeder 2, and this is what breeder 1. Like breeder 1's like your entry level stuff. Like here's where your market value's at. Here's where you're gonna make money. Or like here's you got to think about your up cost, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Got it. Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah, I never knew how a Patreon worked. I didn't know like you just all like pick a day, hang out because like. I mean, I'm too busy to pick days and times for certain things. That's like what it was.
Everybody's is different. Like Miguel's from Always Evolving Python. All the money you put in.
I know that. Yeah. Which I think is really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah,
Billy's isn't like that, but you get discounts on like ultrasound machines, Wilbanks incubators. You get discounts on snakes.
Hell yeah.
Shipping is free after I think 6 months.
Hell yeah.
You can get a credit. You can get longer payment plans through them, stuff like that.
Oh, cool. So a lot of perks. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of perks on it and stuff like that. So like I said, it's a great Patreon. I had fun with Justin's. I was on Canova's when I first started breeding, and I got to go down to his facility I was like year 1 in breeding. I got to go down to his facility. Yeah. That was so much fun.
Oh, I bet, man.
Oh man, dude, that was so much fun. Dude, that video's still on YouTube and stuff. Like, you guys get a chance, go
I gotta
back.
check that out. gotta check it. I probably watched it 100 times. I gotta check it out though. I don't know.
Go back in that video, guys. Like I did a great video, and it was funny because that was before me and Carr were friends. But like me and Carr were like, Carr was helping me film that, and I was like taking pictures for Carr and stuff like that. And then I don't know, we reconnected somehow, and then we just became best friends too. Like
That's funny.
It was funny because I was like, dude, he's like, yeah, I was at Justice. I'm like, what? He's like, I'm pretty sure I helped you on YouTube. I'm like, no shit. Like, and then we went back. I'm like, yeah, dude, like you did like crazy. And then, and then like me and Carr came up with the idea, after talking to Keys and stuff like that. Like Keys gave me the idea, because like I got my first podcast with Keys.
Mhm.
Oh my God, I really like this and stuff like that. I'm gonna start my own. So like me and Carr started it, dude, and we just progressively grew it to what it is today. And then we got Will on it, and then we started doing like interviews and stuff like that. And then we added we tried the Will's Wednesday. It's kind of hard for Will. We try to do everything but ball pythons on that, which maybe we should do it. We should bring back an episode of that here
Every once in a while, we'll throw something in.
Yeah, we'll throw something. We'll have an episode. So we'll be down in Cincinnati for 2 days, Labor Day weekend. So maybe we can find someone that doesn't do ball pythons or something like that to come on the show. But then so we did. So then like we started doing Morph ID Wednesday, and how that came about was me and Carr were so broke at one time because we were investing so much in pythons. Like we were always on Morph Market, stuff like that. It was like, dude, let's play a game. I'm gonna send you a picture of the snake and try to tell me what it is.
So you're playing Guess Who?
Yeah, you're like try to identify the snake, and then like the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Yeah.
So like then it was funny because like then we incorporated it into the podcast. Like, hey, let's do ID Wednesdays. Let's help people because like it's the biggest issue that people have is trying to ID stuff.
Exactly.
And if I get yeah, and well, I mean, you're colorblind too.
Well, it's not about being bad. The problem is because back in the day, I would look at worldable pythons to really tell what is what. I wouldn't even because Morphmarket wasn't even around when I started.
Right.
So now with Morphmarket, the only thing I don't like about, I'm not saying the platform, I don't like that there's a lot of stuff on there mislabeled, a lot of it.
Correct.
And I think that what hurts people like Will or other people, or even myself. Like even with Redhead, there's a lot of Redhead stuff. I'm like, I don't like the way this looks because it don't look legit. So it's like, exactly. So it's like, that's the problem. I wish something that Darian or someone could do more on like, because I used to report a lot of stuff too that was Hidden Gene Warmer and it wasn't Hidden Gene Warmer, and those posts don't go nowhere. They stay up there, even though you report it, and they stay up there. So it's like, that's cool. Go sell the animal to someone who thinks they bought something, but it's not what it is, and it just looks bad on us and everything. It just looks. I think it's not mudding the field or the genes, but it's just incorrect stuff out there that I just think is right. You know,
we just had one two Wednesdays ago.
Like it was like, dude, like I'm like that. I'm like this part's legit, but like this part, like even the chat was like, no, like that's not labeled correct.
It was Enchi. Yeah. It was labeled as Enchi, and there was no
Enchi in it and stuff like that. And there was some, like even Justin said, like Kabelka, he was like, yeah, one of the most labeled ones is lace on there. Like there's like, I'm like, I won't if I get into lace, or like when I get into lace, I won't get lace unless it's absolutely a white lace where you can absolutely tell, or if it's from Rice or Canova.
So someone. So I bought a lace head clown from this Morph to You. So they're called that. They got the mail from Canova, and man, I've looked on Morph Market for a while, and that's all I wanted was a white lace. I wasn't going to spend $1,500 or $2,500 for a white lace head clown. I wasn't going to do it, and I seen that lace head clown, and I'm like, you see it night and day. Like if you actually see one in person, you can pick it out. You can pick it out. But if you're going to buy one on Morph Market, good luck. You're not getting what you're getting. I already know you're not getting what you're getting. Unless you, like you said, you're buying from Canova or Rice. You're not getting what you're getting from anyone else.
Yep. If I get on Morph Market, if I'm going to buy into that gene, I'm getting it from Canova or Rice.
And that's me, man. If I buy into like the redhead, I'm going to Canova, Rice, or someone big where I know I'm not getting burned on that gene. Because I'm not too familiar with redhead. I know if I got a redhead clown, I can tell the difference. No problem. But if I got something subtle with a couple combos that has redhead in it and it's heifer clown, I want to make sure, you know.
Well, that also comes to what's your quality of redhead that you got? Like what's parent? You know what I mean? Because that quality, you know that quality is going to sit there and go over to that offspring. So if you got a good quality adult, you're going to have a good quality, you know, that was like Will. Like I went over to Will's house the other day or whatever, and he's like, I don't know if this is red. My dad's red stripe all day. Like, you know, I can tell to the color and stuff like that, and I work it. I mean, it's a little bit more subtle. It's not as it's not as poppy.
Yeah,
it's not as poppy, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I might do like that's redheaded all day. I can tell you that right now because I work with it. You know, but like, you know, from a breeder type standpoint, like they might not know. You know what I mean? Like, and it sucks.
Yeah,
you know,
it's even like me when I have a certain amount of animals that I sell, like I'll label what I think it is, but I'll also tell someone, hey, it may have this or it may not be this, but this is what I'm seeing because I produce yellow belly cypress hypo Hingy Wama, and I produce another one Hingy Wama cypress hypo without yellow belly. So I'm trying to compare and contrast. Even though with yellow belly you see a difference, but you would think it would be more flames. There was no example of this animal before. It was never really made before.
Right.
So now I'm going off of what I think. Even though it's just 3 incompletes and 1 recessive, sometimes you get a little bit muddy or not too understanding on how these genes work. Because I haven't seen any really Hingy Wama Cypher stuff. Now you're adding hypo to it, so now the colors are changing.
Yep.
But pretty much like I'm gonna sell something as what I think it is, and I'm gonna give you the pairing of like, hey, if you see something else, great, you got a better deal. Or hey, let me know if you don't see this. I think that's what's happening, especially nowadays with a lot of stacking so many genes. It's always been like that, stacking so many genes. But yeah, I think people run into that issue a lot.
I'll be honest. I like what Jason says. Just get a super. You don't got no guessing. Just eliminate the guesswork. Went with a white lace from Bob's, so I don't have to risk being wrong on something I sell. I mean,
it's true. 100%.
Just get a super. Screw it. I mean, it's more expensive, but they're all going to be like that. Like that was
if you want 100% guarantee and you want to make sure you don't screw a customer or mis-ID something, go for that.
Yeah. That's
I sell stuff. I don't put anything on there that I can't guarantee 100%.
I'll put POS
in the end.
Yeah, I'll put POS or I'll put abbreviation of like, hey, this could be in here. Because for example, if I made an animal and let's say you had POS yellow belly, I don't want someone to be like, or me not tell someone it's POS yellow belly and then sell it and they breed it to a yellow belly and they get ivories and like shit, like I wanted them to know like, hey, this might have yellow belly in it. You might not want to breed it to another yellow belly combo, something like that.
White snakes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep. 100%, dude. Like I said, that's like the question I just hashed. It was a black citrus pewter yellow belly, 100% het orange goes to a super enchy GHI hypo. Like I hit hypos and stuff. And I was like, some of those I wouldn't even guess I had enchy in them, but that's a super. He's a proven breeder for enchy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what I mean? I got to take now, if I was sitting there, if it was just like, I'm like, I was like, I don't know. Like, but the citrus pastel is nice though. I do like the citrus pastel. I got some bright babies. But I think some of them have that yellow belly in them, so it helps like enhance that. I tell you where it's at is lemon pastel.
Yeah. That was Greg Graziani, right? With lemon pastel with that nerd.
That was nerd.
Nerd, right? Yeah.
It was nerd. I got my hand
way better than regular pastel.
It is.
I got my hands on a super vanilla, super lemon pastel, proven breeder at one point, and I bred her to the Banana Mojave just to see what it would do. She didn't go that year, and then I tried to make screw it. I'll try to make some I'll try to make some heads with it, whatever. Well, she retained me from the previous year. Like, well, those babies are exactly what I thought they were going to be. I think those turned out nice. So now I know where that's going. So now this year I bred her to the Leopard DG Hypo boy.
Got it.
I'm like, I'm going to see the lemon pastel and DG Hypo stuff. I think it'll be.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I had that vanilla lemon pastel Pastavi.
Yeah. I think vanilla is really underrated. Vanilla is really underrated.
It is 100%.
Because man, super vanillas. I'm not saying the same like lace. I'm not calling them the same. I'm saying that like nice, like really bright looking.
Yeah.
Man, super vanilla, man. Like you could do a lot of cool things with super vanilla, like super vanilla pies, even super vanilla clowns. Like vanilla is really slept on. Really slept on.
I never thought about doing super vanilla.
Oh man, you guys see this stuff, man. Super vanilla is really nice. I have a vanilla enchy pie, and that thing is screaming. And I want to double up on the. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Go downstairs and go pull that out real quick. I want to see that. I want to see what vanilla does in pied.
Okay,
I
give me a
haven't
second.
seen it. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'm gonna take a quick commercial break while he does that real quick, guys. Enjoy this reel. Yes, well, that super vanilla. There was one on Morph Market. I do believe it was. Oh, I wish I had the money for it. Yeah, I would have bought it. I didn't have the money. It was expensive.
Okay.
All right, let's do this. Oh yeah,
Wait, trying to find.
is that a girl?
Yeah, female.
What's the head stamp?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Hold on. There we go.
Oh, yep, there you go.
That's the vanilla head stamp.
Vanilla, but yeah, but definitely vanilla head stamp. The vanilla really lightens that up.
Oh yeah, without doubt. Trying to get.
That's
There we
nice.
go. She's better.
Double dose of that would be awesome. Like the
Yeah, if
entry.
you see like that color, if you double
Yeah,
up, man,
I mean-
yeah, it's gonna be really nice.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's just a single gene version.
Yeah, that's just a single. It's a
That's
vanilla.
single. Yeah, this is a single, man. I'm trying to get. There we go. Yeah, this is a single. So you see, like, it has a lot of like these peaches and oranges. Like, I think Super Vanilla is gonna be something that people really should work with. Even Super Vanilla DG, Super Vanilla Hypos. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, I was expecting it. I thought it was the super vanilla version. I was like, I was
Oh, no.
expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be much brighter.
Oh no,
But
I
if
would. This snake's in shed. This snake's in shed.
Oh, okay, that makes sense too.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
This snake's in
I
shed.
thought I
Yeah.
saw pink on the belly.
Yeah. But that's kind of like the way it looks.
I'd like to see
Yeah.
the reason why I was scared for it because I didn't want it to be like an all white snake.
Vanilla won't do that.
I didn't
Oh,
think it would.
You afraid it's gonna make it high white? You mean?
Right.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what just a vanilla pie looks like. You know, it's not something.
Mhm.
I'll be honest. I lack in my pied game. Like I have very little pied. I have a
Got it.
hypo pied female, which I was gonna make like double heads with,
Mhm.
and then I traded and I got a Enchi. What was that? I got Enchi OD pie. Or what was that one? What was it? Well, because the exact same snake that you have just has higher pattern.
Give me a second. I'll go look.
I don't even remember what it was. Label. I can't even see. Oh no, it was a fire Enchi pie. That's what it was.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fire
Yeah.
action pod.
Yeah, it was a fire Enchi pie, and I got that for a milk. Like my pie game sucks, and I got people all the time
You got
that's
the
like,
Xantic pod too.
"Oh yeah, yep." I got the VPI Xantic pie too, and
Oh, yeah.
I have people. Well, I have. So are you into how heavy are you into Xantic, man?
I have a bunch of double head Xantic pod stuff, and I have a visual Xantic Mojave head pod, which I'm putting my Desert Ghost pod to. I want to do I want to do Desert Ghost pod Xantics. But I have a lot of double head Xantics. I actually sold off a bunch of my Xantics a few years ago. After I seen the Desert Ghost Clown Xantic, I sold mine because the volume went up so much. So I'm like,
Right.
I'll sell my regular Xantics, you know. So I sold a bunch of that off just to make a bunch of double heads and triple heads now. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I like that project, but that, like you said earlier, man, that project's gonna be dead. Not dead. I'm not saying dead, but everyone's doing the same project, and I just feel like, you know, there's a lot of footing. There's a lot of footing. You can add different combos to it.
It is.
So many people going that route.
It is. I'll be right back real quick because Wade's done spot cleaning my snakes real quick. I gotta talk to him real quick. I'll be right back.
Do you do? Yeah. You do VPI or?
Yeah, VPR. Yeah.
I was say I have Xanth or SK, so
SK, man, I've seen Limey in the chat. I don't know if he's still here, but he has a lot of, like, he works for SK, and I think SK is gorgeous, man. I like the SK, and I like the CRG or CGR. I don't know if you heard about that line.
Yeah, it's Canadian
No,
something.
no. I think it's like Reptile Gate or Gate something.
Yeah, well, they're
They
out
have
of
a nice
Canada.
line, yeah. Oh, are they? Okay, yeah. That's a really nice line.
I'm pretty
I
sure
like that
they're
line
out
a
of
lot.
Canada, but it's like SK and Black Xanthic have been proven to be the same.
The same, yeah.
I got the Pastel Xanthic male that I got from John Dahl at
Okay.
Tim here, and that thing was like grayscale. It's black now. It's black.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. And that's what I like about Xanthics. I like that look, and I feel like with the VPI, you're not getting that look. You're getting that gray and white snake that turns more brown when it gets older. I like the more darker blacks. I want the blacks.
Pictures, like if I were to bring it out here and show you, it looks brown. But if you were to come here and see it, it's black. I went with SK because before I even got into breeding, I saw him. He produced the Stormtrooper.
Yep.
And I was like, I want to play in that gene now that I'm breeding. So I was like, I'm going to go get it from him.
Exactly.
But I'm thinking about switching to MJ because MJ holds his color way better. And
MJ is really, really nice. You know, MJ, I like the MJ stuff a lot. I like that a lot. Yeah. My favorite two are the MJs and the VPIs. But look-wise, I think the TSK, I don't know. Is it TSK, right?
Well, it's TSK.
Yeah, TSK.
It's the Snake Keeper line is what it is.
Yeah. Which I like that, you know, the way that ages nicely too.
Unless you have I'm guessing that's a Black Xanthic and not a, or
if you're saying
Black Xanthic line,
of
SK, because it's black. Like, I mean, it's brown black now, and it used to have white. No, well, I like it now because it's got the white that it does have is like speckled all through it, and it makes it pop out better.
And what are you playing? What are you playing on breeding that to?
Well, I was trying to make zebra bees.
Oh, hell yeah!
But the female that I had that was a spider, it was a spider supposed to be 66% het albino and 66% het SK Xanthic, and got her up to size, was breeding, and I'm like, well, now they came out with the SK shed test, sent it off. Wasn't it? It was just a single gene spider.
Oh,
didn't prove out for either one of them. Glenn, I usually have really good luck. Like I got a pair of Kryptons. One was 66% hypo, the male. And I'm like, I'm going to test it because if it's not hypo, I'm just going to get rid of it.
Yeah. Yep.
And it came back 100% het for hypo. So now I have a Krypton, a triple het, basically.
Okay.
Because Krypton obviously is cryptic het clown, and it's het hypo. And the female, I forget what, she's like an Enchi Lemon Blast Krypton. So like, I usually have very good odds on the 66%ers. Not on that one though. I didn't get one of the two. I got just a single gene spider.
That's wild, man.
I sold her. I got the results back, and one of the guys that's local to us, he liked her, and I said, well, if the test comes back that it's not SK, she's gone, because that's the only reason I had her was for the SK. So I don't have any female SK anything now. But
so have you shed tested a lot of stuff or no?
Not a lot, but like some of the stuff that I've gotten that was 66 or POS het, I've sent those out just because if it comes back, I don't want to waste my time again.
100%.
So now if the shed test is out there, the only reason I grew her up is because there wasn't a test for Xanthic or the SK Xanthic. It was only VPI.
Got it.
So I couldn't test her. So I'm like, I'm just going to grow up and breed it. And then the test came out. So I sent off a shed, and sure enough, it came back as neither. So well, she's gone.
Yeah, she's gone.
But so now I think I'm going to try to, eventually I'm going to get it into Sunset and the Clown Pieds and Hypo and eventually, but right now I'm working for a Hypo Clown Pied Sunset.
Oh man, that's going to be gorgeous.
And then I have some other stuff I'm going to do because I haven't heard anybody talk about it. and I don't want to give that away because there's
why not? Yeah,
way ahead of me. They could possibly come up with it before I could.
Oh yeah, 100%, man.
So
trust me, man. Yeah, definitely.
Keep that under wraps a little bit. But I've got a bunch of hypo clown stuff. Like I said, I got the blackhead double het hypo clowns. I got 2 of the females from Glenn. I've got an Enchi double het hypo clown that I got from Glenn. Then I've got a clown that's double het hypo pied and a pied that's double het hypo clown.
Okay.
All females.
Heck yeah.
So next year I should have some, hypo clowns. I just got
hypo clowns, man. Hypo clowns are nice, man. So such a sleeper combo.
And then I like the Kryptons I got. I was trying to help out the breeder because I got them for $155 for the pair plus shipping.
Oh wow.
I was just trying to raise the price up for the guy because they should, it's double het. I'm like, they can go for that. I'm like, if I get it, I get it. I didn't want Krypton because I didn't want Cryptic.
Yeah.
I did that way. I didn't have to worry about which one it was.
Yeah, what exactly?
Like, but for $155 plus, I think it was $60
yeah,
shipping.
It's not a bad gamble.
I was like, okay. Well, then I was bidding on a pair of DGs, visual DGs. I got a pair of visual DGs for $300 plus shipping.
Yo,
what? Yeah.
Was it the auction or no?
Yeah, on the auctions. Yeah, like
man, that auction stuff, man. That shit's scary.
Yeah, like I was like, well, I guess I got into DG.
Yeah, man.
Well, I had a pair of pastel double het DGs. Okay. And hopefully she goes this year. So I want to see what a super pastel DG in person,
yeah,
because that's one of few things that pastel, even regular pastel, looks good in.
Oh yeah, I have a pastel DG Enchi downstairs, female. I also have a pastel super Enchi Desert Ghost Hypo male, and he's insane. He's insane. Yeah. I actually have him. He's actually on Morph Market right now. I
didn't see him. Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the male.
Yeah, he glows. He's
like $1,500.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I spent $3,000 for him.
I
don't need him no more.
Right. I do have a question for you though, Wayne. Do you do this? Do you do this all by yourself, or does your daughter help you? Or
I don't have kids.
Oh, you don't have kids?
No. Thank God.
Is that your wife in the picture then?
What picture? Oh, depending on what picture you had, probably. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. I didn't know if that was your wife or not.
Yeah.
So like, I have a little bit of help. Like Wade helps me because I was talking to him. Like he helps me with the rats occasionally, but I'm giving him like snake experience now. So like he was spot. I'm like, here, like I'll show you how to spot clean. Add humidity. Like he's like, I'm not gonna lie. Like some of those bigger snakes are kind of intimidating. I'm like, but he doesn't have experience with it.
He'll have to come over here and clean my snakes for me. He won't think any of yours are, because I have 4 Burmese pythons too.
Yeah,
I got one that's over 10 foot.
Well, he wants to possibly get into breeding and stuff like that. So I'm trying to give him experience with snakes, stuff like that. Okay. He bought his one off of me. Like he's local. He's a barber too and stuff. So he's a really cool dude. And he'll help me with the rats when he can, because with me working 12s and stuff on top of it, trying to do that, trying to make the reels, trying to do the podcast, Instagram.
Too much, dude. It's a lot, man.
I do a lot, dude. I do a lot. And even Will sometimes dude, I don't know how you do it. Like, dude, I don't know how I do it either. And plus I go to the gym.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But that's how me and Glenn became real good friends.
I'll be in Lapeer,
Michigan. He blew out his knee and couldn't do his rats.
Oh, God.
So he asked me if I could help him do his rats and stuff, and then we've been together ever since. Like
it wasn't even. It was before that, honestly, because he was buying rats off of me.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We became real good friends.
That's when we became. I blew my whole knee out, and I had to have a cadaver put in. I tore the tendon off. I couldn't wait there for 8 weeks. And I felt so bad because I couldn't go. I got stairs. I couldn't do the rats. I couldn't do the snakes. Like the snake question wasn't as big. But, I mean, it was still a decent. It was probably what 40 at the time.
Yeah, probably.
It would still work. And he didn't ask for anything. He's like, oh no, but I get. He's like, no, don't worry about it, man. He's like, I got you and stuff. Like you help. and we just became good friends. And then he started bending and stuff, and then I started bending, and then we just kept growing together. And I helped him fix his collection.
That's great.
I helped him fix his collection. Took him to Tinley, and he's like, because I was already high in at the time. At that time, and he was like, "Yeah, I see what you're talking about." I took him to Tinley, and then I cut out like he wasn't mad at me, but he kind of was, because he's like, man, I cut out like 35% of his collection.
36%.
Yeah.
No, man, it happens, man. I go to people's houses and like, oh, I don't know why I can't sell this, or I want to breed this. I'm like, you got to get rid of all of this and get rid of this and get rid of this. And then there's so much attachment of stuff. And it's like, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, man, but like, if you're going to go different, if you're going to try to be somewhat profitable, you can't have all these pets.
I originally started just to make what I wanted to keep as a pet.
Yeah.
And sell off everything else.
Which is nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that.
Which is why I have the Bumblebee.
Yeah,
because I fell in love with the Bumblebee back when they were $10,000.
Yeah, yep.
I was active duty military in and out of the country, and I was enlisted, so I didn't have $10,000 laying around. But I was like, okay, I'm going to make one of those, and then I was going to try to make a panda pie, and then we got together, and he's like, "Nah, get rid of all of this." I was like, that Bumblebee is not going anywhere.
I'm like, that's fine, because I got my first one as a banana Mojave boy. Like, I've had him for like 13 years. I'm like, he's not going nowhere.
But then I went to Tinley and was like, wow,
yeah, man,
money doing this. And then so now it's been a
I kind of tell people, like, and this is my new aspect of looking at it. It probably happened the last 2 years. And it's sad and it sucks saying it like this, but if you really want to make it a business, you got to kind of almost look at it like this. Like, I'm looking at every animal as an employee. And if this employee can't make my business a certain amount of money, I got to fire that employee, meaning sell it.
Yep.
So
that's a good way to look at that.
That's a good way to look at it, too.
Essentially, we do the same thing. It's just another way of saying it that other people might.
Yeah, that's a good one. I got a question for you. Do you think now? So let me ask this first. Are you full time with the reptiles? Is that all you do, or do you work?
No, I work for a company primarily just for health insurance, but that's why I'm gonna stop anyway, because I could do this full time if I wanted to.
Right. Okay. So let's be honest with this. Okay. The way the market is right now. Okay. Do you think it's feasible for someone to sit there with a goal to go full time?
Yes, but if you're gonna go in right now, let's say if someone hand you $100,000 or even $50,000, if someone hand you $50,000 right now, that can get you the animals to make you successful. But you as a human being, you as a person, networking and being out there, that falls on you now. The animals is 50% of that job. It all depends on what you do with it now. It's like someone leaves you in Harrington, $100,000. You can blow that on strippers and fucking anything stupid. It all depends on what you want to invest in. So if they invest correctly, no problem. But again, someone coming in with being really green and not understanding the way stuff works can really probably waste that money quickly.
Yeah,
I think $100 on Billy's Patreon, because they would learn where they need to get, where that money needs to go.
Yeah, and depending on how those Patreons, I never did Billy's, I never did Kenobi's, and I'm sure they're great, and you guys talk highly about them, and I'm sure they're gonna point them into the right direction. And and if that was me, if I was getting into it now, even now, if I just had $50,000 lying around, I would go to Justin and be like, hey man, what do you think I should do with $50,000? But again, I also don't want that copy and paste answer of like, this is what I'm doing, this is what you should do.
Right. I want to do my own route. Like
exactly.
I got my own projects, stuff like that. I'm taking a little bit longer route to get the incompletes into my recessives and stuff, because that's sometimes what you got to do.
Yeah.
But like I said, I was on the correct path from the get go, because before I started breeding, I did 6 months of research before I decided to get into this.
Yeah.
It's funny because I actually had one of my coworkers. He's a younger kid and stuff like that. He goes, "Do you regret doing what you do now?" I'm like, my debt wise and stuff like that. Because I'm in debt. I went high end on this. Okay. Like I said, I sold my sports car for the Zebra to get into that project. I didn't have $10,000 2 years ago lying around for, you know what I mean? But now look at me. I have the triple het, Zebra hypos that just laid, and I could have some leopards, you know. So if I hit the odds, great. I go. It's hard because I sit there and I sacrifice my free time, my personal life for this. I mean, that's the only thing that I don't necessarily care for. As for the animals and doing what I'm doing, I love it to death.
Of course, yeah.
Going to the expos and stuff, it's fun. It is time consuming, but because of that, my personal life takes a sacrifice for it because I work full time. And people don't realize that. I go like, I'm like, money wise, I'm like, I'm not full time. I still work here, so like I'm not hurting. So if I go to an expo, I if I don't sell anything or whatever, I had a good time. You know, it's fun. I write it off as the LLC, right off the gas, right off the table fees. It is what it is. You know, my most personal advice that I got was from a breeder. He goes, when I went full time, he goes, it wasn't as fun because at that point it became all about the money.
And that's where I feel like I'm falling into, where it's like, that's why I don't want to step away from a job, because I don't want to be on hard ass on my girlfriend, being like, hey, you know, we got to make this, or we got to do this, and you know, these animals got to sell. It's like, I don't want it to come to a point where, not that I'm cutting corners, but in case we do hit a really bad recession, something like that, you know, I don't have a job buying my rats or buying my rat food. So now these animals are what I need to survive.
Right.
Like, you know, like a lot of people too, like depending on their living expenses, like my house is bought out. I don't have a mortgage. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't have a mortgage. And I just got my car payment in the other day, which I'm about 10 grand away from paying that off. So once that's paid off, the only thing I have here is a electric bill. That's the only bill I have. I have no other bills besides the electric bill. Everything else is I'm on a well, you know. But again, I can quit my job and just have a $300 bill. But hey, if something breaks in my house, hopefully that thing makes me enough money to pay for something. You know, if my engine goes out, my transmission, I don't have a job to get credit to, you know, get something done. Like, I'm not working now, so it's like working a job. I think even if you do it full time, if you're making, you know, 6 figures, you don't. I don't think you don't need a job. Yeah. If you're making high 5 figures, you probably don't need a job. But again, I don't have a mortgage. Depending on how much some people mortgages could be $3 grand. You know, their car payments could be $1,500 a month. I don't know. You know, depending on your living expenses, if you have kids, if you have, you know, expensive tastes, you know, it all depends, you know, on how each individual pretty much lives their lives.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you 100%, man. Like it depends. Like, are you living within your means? Pretty much.
Exactly.
For me and stuff too. Like I'm really thankful that, because I took some money and stuff. Like I sold some snakes, stuff like that, and I bought that double. It was that spot nose GHI spot nose hypo DJ. You know, I spent $4 grand on her. You know what I mean? And then I cut myself short with the cocoa money and the business money. So now I got to sit there and they're getting ready to do another shipment of it. And, you know, so I'm like $1,000, $1,500 short on it, which isn't a big deal because I got my job. I've been working every Friday.
Exactly.
I can afford to pay to make up that. You know what I mean? Like where if I was full time, I'd be screwed. I'd be so screwed.
Yeah. If you were full time, you probably would be. Probably wouldn't be maybe even doing a podcast, man. Cause I think you'd be more stressed, more on top of things, more where it's like, I don't got time. Like, everything would need to be a hustle and a grind where it's like, you know, you used to be pushing where it's like, all right, this isn't fun anymore. So I want to get to the point where it's like, it's still going to be fun and not like, okay, I need to make 10 grand this month or everything sucks here. I don't want to be, I don't want to be depressed doing this. I want to enjoy doing it. So if I need a part-time job just to make sure I know they're getting fed or this is getting fed, I'm fine with that. You know,
this is to help with my depression. It helps.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I said that's what makes it nice is that people are like, oh, well, like, how'd you? I'm like, I tell people that expos, like, I don't really care how I did. Like, is it nice to sell something? Yeah. Is it more fun to sit there and interact with people that are into my same interests? That I can sit there and follow the channel. Maybe I can give some information. Maybe I can help someone out. Maybe have an issue or whatever. Like where they consider me a legitimate breeder. Like, I consider myself a legitimate breeder.
Yeah.
I do. You know, I know husbandry. I help people. You know, I do customer care. You know, I have my collection. My animals are always, you know, well taken care of. So are the rats. You know, like that. I consider myself a legitimate breeder.
My
Okay,
rats get used as pet rats. Like I get in there and play with them. Like
Yep. See,
they get broccoli, they get sweet potatoes, they eat better than I do.
Yeah, I mean, like that's what makes it fun for me.
Yes.
And I think you're right. I think if at one point I sat there and I thought I did have that goal year one. Hey, I want to do this full time. I want to get out of a factory and stuff. But now as I've grown into this and evolved and saw where everything's at and stuff like that, I'm like, you know what? Like, I just want to keep my collection around probably where like 300, 500, probably maybe not do it full time, where I can still work factory, still make a good living. If I can make an extra X amount of money, a year doing this, awesome. But like, I don't. What's up, Ken? How you doing, man? If you guys haven't checked out Ken's podcast,
4 hours.
Yeah. So like I sit there and I don't want to make it where it's just not enjoyable to me. I do it because it keeps me busy, it keeps me out of trouble, it keeps me preoccupied and stuff like that. Like, I go to the gym, a lot. I do that. That's my physical, that's my mental therapy with that. But so are the animals and stuff. Now there were, I told myself the other day, I was just thinking about this. I was like, like when I first started doing this, I was like, man, I used to chill in the living room, like once or twice a week, play with the snakes and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't really do that no more. I'm like, I need to start doing that. I think I'd enjoy it. I think if I interact with my animals more, my snakes and stuff, I'd enjoy it that much more like I used to, but it becomes so busy and stuff. Like when your collection grows and stuff, it's just like, oh shit, like, I'm tired. I want to go to bed. I gotta go to work. I'm tired.
I think it's also where I used to really enjoy taking the animals out and play with them. I think now them being so expensive and you don't want them to go for feed. You don't want them to get sick. You don't want them to not breed. So you kind of like, I don't want to touch them. I just want them to be left alone. I don't want to bother them in case they go down the deep end of like being stressed out. So it's kind of like, I see that point. But to go back on the point about working and doing it full time, I think a lot of us like the idea of like doing the animals, but also in their head, they want to get away from the animals. That's why people work too. Just to be able to yin and yang back from each other. Like, I hate my job, but I love my animals. I hate these animals right now. I can't wait to go to work tomorrow to get away from them. I think that's what happens. I know. Sunday night, I'm like, I can't wait to get to work tomorrow. I just can't wait to get. I can't do this no more. Like,
I hate. I like my job. It's the people there.
No, I hate my job, but I just need to get away from the house.
I'm like, man, like I would love to sit there and go work an 8-hour shift, and that gives me an extra 4 hours. I can go to the gym. That extra have another 2 hours to interact with my animals, stuff like that. But the money's too good.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is.
I can sit there. I can reinvest in my animals and stuff like that, and that's why I have that extra help. Like I have Wade that comes over. He helps me with the rats if I need the break. If I need that break, or he helps me. I'm teaching him how to spot clean and rehumidify snakes and stuff for me real quick. I'm like, hey, this is what you want to do or get into. This is what it takes. Here's where it is.
Yeah, this is behind the scenes that nobody else sees.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And I think a lot of people don't understand where it's like this isn't an overnight success. Like I've been doing it for 10 years, and there's a handful of times I had to revamp my collection to get where other people were. I thought back in the day, oh, if I just bred bananas, I'm going to be rich. Or if I just made bells, I'm going to be rich. And it's like, that doesn't work that way. It did years ago. Like, you could make a good, decent money. That does not work. So you doing the triples and the quads, now that's you keeping those animals, not selling them. So, again, if you was in this for investment, you may have to sell those animals. Me, thankfully, like I mentioned, I'm in a good position where I can hold these animals, to keep these animals, and not worry about selling every animal I produce. Some people might not be in those shoes where they need to sell everything they make. So they can't take the risk on like making heads or triple heads. Maybe everything needs to be visual. I don't know. So it's like everything is not 1, 2, 3 overnight success. So it's like you need to either invest the right way or be in it for the long term. I think a lot of people want to invest, but they don't want to do it long. Like they want to do it long term, but they don't understand how long term is.
And I think that's where you make a good point at is like where if I didn't have a full-time job, that's like where if you're for someone that has a full-time job that's making really good money, or like even just money in general, like they're not dependent on the snake money. If someone's doing that compared to someone that's full-time, you're not having to sit there and drop your prices to make that sell real quick. You're not crashing that market. You're not. And that's why
the market goes low, man. Because some of us need this money to keep going. Like you have the Canovas and the Bobs where sometimes they need to get rid of stuff because they have so many animals. A lot of times they don't.
We lost them. We're having a great conversation too. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, real quick, guys. What's up, everybody? Welcome to ID Wednesday. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. Welcome to this week's show. What? Will and Carr, aka the Sunglass Crew, today. Just because, why not?
He is. He's frosty. Like I like this.
I love
I was
this
supposed
thing.
to send him to me, but he's taking forever.
Oh yeah. You can see what the black pastel does. I mean, you got a picture, picture of that. You can see the pattern. What's on the line? $350 Morph Market credit from me, $100 Morph Market credit from Will, Justin, $100 Morph Market credit for him.
There we go. I got a timer.
You got a timer? What is Twister doing this? I have no idea. It just looked cool.
I have no idea. No.
Hey, make sure you're doing this every. What?
What does Twister do? I have
no idea. Dude, that's the most realistic. Dude, that is the most realistic comment. Like, that's showing you that, like, I like to have fun. I like to try to information you guys, but if I don't know, like, what does Twister do? I have no idea. Like, that's as most real as you can get right there as a breeder. Like, that's not me bullshitting nobody, and like that's like a legit channel right there, dude. How many people can sit there? What does Twister do? I mean, I could try to fake it and tell you and be wrong.
Yeah, bro.
Jackass on the channel, but I have no idea.
Were they mainly females?
It was mostly girls.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you still have the males?
They pretty much all had their males.
Okay.
Maybe one.
Okay, so I'll just replenish it. Yeah, perfect. All right, man. Later, bro.
All right, bro. See ya.
Yep.
You guys have it tuned to ID Wednesday. Please make sure you do. We do a contest, Snake. Will Teleheat won the first round. He got 3 correct guesses. He got the shirt. Ken has. I haven't seen Ken since that. Come on, Ken, you're slacking. So this round, the contest, Snake, if you get it right 5 times, $350 Morph Market credit from me, $100 Morph Market credit from Will, and $100 from Carr. So it's a good time. But all right, back to
it's not easy.
not easy.
No.
About our conversation. But yeah, I think that's why I don't know, dude. Like, you see a lot of that too with the auctions and stuff. I mean, there's a couple of fire animals on there, dude, but they go for so low. And
We were just talking about that when you were talking to Wade about how I got those Kryptons and the DGs for nothing.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I think the auction's pretty bad right now for the hobby. I think the auction should only be ran Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, kind of like the way we do reptile shows. Just have it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and not during the week. And I know it's great to unload animals and stuff, but I just think it's killing the market.
I agree 100% because I'm going to tell you why. Because one, you don't know. Like, so if you post an animal for sale, okay, for one, I've done it like twice or once, and I never even shipped the freaking animal because they didn't end up paying me at Expo the next show. So, I do it often. I try not to do them. I don't like them. I do it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Why? Because when people get paid.
Yeah. So there you go.
It depends. It depends on when people get paid. And like, if someone wants that animal but they can't afford it, then like you're shut out of luck. You don't have.
Because the way I look at it, it's like if you do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you be okay. That snake, I want that snake, but it's in an auction. I'm gonna go to a reptile show this weekend, see if I can find it cheaper, see if I can see it there. I don't see it there. I'm gonna wait and just buy it that night. Yeah.
I don't like the auction here. I get it moves animals, it moves the lower end stuff, but at the same point,
but there's some high end stuff there going really, really low, man.
Oh, dude, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, dude.
Bro. There was an Atlantic Pride female that went for $500 a couple days ago.
That's what's scary. That's what's scary, dude.
Yeah. Why are you gonna buy stuff for market value if you can just wait there and just pluck something on the auction?
Exactly, dude. And that's the same thing I've been telling people and stuff. Like, why are you gonna sit there and be on a breeder's morph market that you follow and wait? You see the snake, but you know that they're gonna sit there and do like a BOGO sale because there's a notorious snake breeder that does that all the time. I'm not gonna say any names, but I disagree with it. If you got to do that, you should not be breeding.
And I also think the increasement of $5 is a joke. It should be a minimum $25 a jump, $25 to $20 a jump, not $5.
I agree. $5 is a joke. It's a slap in the dick.
I was talking to a breeder, and he kind of messed up on the auction. He didn't put a reserve down, but he put like an OD fire yellow belly pied male breeder, and he put no reserve. It was like $65 for shipping. Man, that thing went for $15. No one wanted it. It went for $15, and the shipping was $100. So he had to pay like $30 out of pocket just to ship the animal.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, man. So it's like that's what I don't like about the auction. Like I actually put an animal in the auction. I put a spot nose het DG. Actually sold for. I had it for $100 reserve. It went for $105. So I sold it for $105, and I'm like, you gotta be shitting me, man. Like, you know, for like $5, like really. And if I didn't even have it for $100, it probably went for $5 or $10. It's like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was talking to Darian in a group chat, and apparently he probably didn't understand what I was saying. I don't think any of these animals on these auctions should be $0. They should sell at $50. I don't think you should be able to get animals for $5 or $10, $15, $20. Like I know this isn't eBay, man. These are live animals. Like it should be at least $50 or $100. Because like there's a lot of
minimum,
animals,
even normals, dude. Normal should be a minimum of $100-something. If you sit there, if you get an animal, like I saw it the other day at Expo, it kind of pissed me off. They had a pass that was $30. They put $30, $30 freaking dollars. It's a live animal, man. At least put like $100. That's why like the market shouldn't go down. Like people shouldn't be lowballing. It's still a live animal. If you're likely to spend $100 on it, you're more likely to care for that animal instead of $30. Oh, if I spent $30 on it, if it dies, who cares? It's $30. Like,
man,
no,
every time I have a low end animal, let's say $50, $60, $40 even. Man, I got people like, oh, so I'll buy this now, I'll put it in a container, and I'll buy a tank this week. And I'm like, no, man, like, this is why I want to get away from producing low end animals, so I don't have this issue. But the problem is, I feel bad for people who only can afford to make these animals, and then these animals are like dying, you know, like, and when you asked me earlier, do everything about stopping doing this, that's the reason why I don't want to do this, because I can't stand, I don't know where my animals are going, and I don't like the fact that I'm making animals that could just be getting killed or just being starved, or that's what I can't. This is what, if someone asks me what don't I like about what I do, that's what I can't stand about what I do. I can't stand knowing what I produce. I don't know what happened to those animals, and that's what I can't stand.
Yeah. I mean, like a 12 ball python wholesale. I don't give a shit what they are. Like that's like a 12 ball python. That's worth way more than $240.
That Cobra 12, man. If those are normals, man, you're talking about $100 maybe. You know?
Yeah, that's ridiculous, dude. Yeah. Like that's what makes it hard too, because like I'm like, man, and that's why I tell people at expos that buy from me. You know, I'm like, hey, if you have a problem with this animal, contact me. You know, Will does
all the time.
Don't wait until it's almost dead to contact me.
Yeah. And I tell people too, don't contact me in 24 hours saying they didn't eat. I don't want to hear that, you know? Right. But contact me when you feel like, hey, this didn't hit, something's off. Like it didn't do what you tell me it's doing. It's not eating. It's not doing this. Then contact me. But don't die. I got people all the time, you know, they'll hit me up after I sell a snake. They're like, it didn't poop in 2 weeks. Oh, okay. Let it go. Like they're not humans. They're not like us pooping every day or every other day. Like give it time. Give it time. You know.
That's what I tell everybody when I sell them a snake. Take it home, set it up in its enclosure, leave it alone. Don't get it out. Don't nothing. 2 to 3 days. Leave it alone. Let it get used to its enclosure. It'll come out. Then you can play. You can mess with it.
Yeah, do what you want with it. Yeah.
And then feed it on your next feeding schedule.
Exactly. Day. And that's what I do. I usually
feed 2 or 3 weeks.
I feed every Saturday. So I tell people when they come to a show, I'm like, hey, this snake may be a little nippy because we feed Saturdays. So if he's nippy, he's probably hungry. Don't touch him, leave him alone, and feed him Saturday. But I'll be honest, when I get an animal in, I try to feed the animal same day the next day because I'm not worried about stressing the animal because I know what I'm doing. Yeah, but I don't trust someone else because if you guys did it, you guys know what you're doing. If you want, you're like, hey, I spent 10 grand on this animal. I want to see now, not next week. If it eats, great. If it doesn't, you're gonna wait next week anyway. So it's up to you. But I don't want someone who don't know what they're doing throwing a bigger meal in or even a smaller meal and be like, it didn't eat. It's like, well, it's either too big, they were scared, or too small, they didn't see it, they didn't want it. You know.
Yep.
But yeah, that's why I tell them the 2 to 3 days, leave it alone, and then on their next scheduled feeding day, if they have animals, already, attempt to feed on that day.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't eat like 2 or 3 weeks after that, then get a hold of me.
Yes, exactly.
And that's a part of breeding like higher end stuff. Like if you breed a higher end, like if they're going to spend more than $1,000, even 500, they know what they're doing.
100%. Like, man, when I bought my Sunset, man, I sent over $4,000. I didn't ask for an extra picture. I didn't ask for, oh, please send me the eyes, show me the vent. I didn't ask for any of that. I'm like, hey, can you ship money for Tuesday? That's all I wanted to know. Do I need to be home? No. Can you ship to the hub? Here's $4,000. Like, it's like when you know what you're doing, you don't ask all those questions. I think the issue is people who get into this, they don't know, and they watch some of these people's YouTube videos, and they think they should be asking a million questions. I don't think a million questions need to be asked. I think just a few right questions need to be asked, and that's about it. I think people overthink
Depends on the picture on Morph Market. If it's not a very good picture, then you
exactly.
Can I get some better pictures? Like
exactly, 100%. And it's not even about how the animal looks or whatnot. I think a lot of people don't even know what they really should be looking for. Because so many times, like I see people like, oh, is this scale rot? This scale rot? I'm like, I never heard so many people dealing with scale rot. Like scale rot's not really a thing that happens so often. I think people like, no, that's a stuck shed. Oh no. Elder rodent bite. That's not scare rot. That's elder rodent bite.
Yeah.
I don't think people know what they're looking at. Even I had the last 2 shows ago, I had someone come up to me saying, "Hey, was this pied shed tested for pied?" And I'm like, "No." It's like, well, I want to know if it's pied. I'm like, "It's visually pied." It's like, "No, but I heard shed testing. You need to have proof." I'm like, if it's a pied, it's already proof. And I think that's what's happening. And people are hearing this stuff, and they just don't understand what they're really hearing and understand how it works. And that's the problem. I think
you need the shed test if you can't see it.
Right.
But when you think you know everything, and you just stand there, ask people to like. When I first got into this, man, I didn't talk to nobody. I watched videos. I didn't talk to nobody. Like, yeah, I told people about animals, but I never act like I knew anything because I didn't know anything.
Right. I didn't either.
Yeah, I stood quiet. I watched as many videos as possible. It was 24/7, me watching, work, sleep, day. I just watch it 24/7. Anything I could learn, I would watch. And then when it came time to talk to someone, I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? But there's so many things, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but there's so many things that I was able to do on my own without asking anyone because I watched so much of it.
Yeah,
go
Google it, go YouTube it. It's probably on there.
Yes. I think the more you use your own brain, the more you're gonna be okay. Stop just just use your own brain and you'll be okay.
But today's society is all this is you got to have it from somebody that's a leader,
and that's the problem.
This is fact. This is the only way it can be done.
And exactly what you're saying, Will. I hate when people are like, well, this person said this, so this got to be true. It's like, how long has this person been doing it for? Just because they make nice YouTube videos, don't mean they've been doing it for a long time. Don't mean they know what they're doing.
Right.
And they had a baby hatch out with the heart outside their stomach. I've had babies like that. I was able to put the pop back in, sew them up, and then they're breeding 5 years later. Like I was able, and these are things that I don't expect to happen, but it happens. But tell me how you, as a person, if you've seen that, what do? You probably just bug out, kill it.
Yeah. That's what I tell people.
Yeah.
I'm like, make sure. I mean, if you're gonna breed, one, make sure you have a reliable food source. Make sure you have the space to keep it if it doesn't sell.
Yes.
Okay. 3, make sure you have a vet just in case or whatever. I mean, have a first aid kit. I have a first aid kit. I have the F10 or not the F10 cream. I have some kind of cream or whatever I get from Australia. And I had that one 2 years ago. It was a super GHI hypo boy. His scales started falling off. He got something with the antibiotics and stuff, and I thought for sure he was gonna die. And I took him to the vet and stuff like that. After myself treating him with the cream, stuff like that, giving him, I was doing everything. And the vet she goes, I can't really do much more than what you're already doing. She's like, the cream that you have is way better than what we're going to give you. She's like, I'd maybe use a little bit less of it because it's so strong. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's what's up. And and I got that reputation with the vet because they know what I'm doing. I'm like, if I need antibiotics, I got to give you. I can't do antibiotics. I can inject them. Yeah, I can get the actual antibiotics, whatever. I can't do that. Other than that, I can treat anything. And I tell my customers that.
That was the same way when I had to take that snake to the vet. I was already treating it with chlorhexidine, and they're like,
"Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
you didn't need to come in here then."
Yeah. No, but you guys did the right thing. You guys tried. You guys were like, maybe I'm doing it wrong. You still tried first. It's not like you just panicked and hit the red button and just bugged out. You tried first.
Yeah, you could sit there. I could keep it alive for sure, 100%. If it needs more medical care, I'm gonna take it to the vet, double check it. If I'm doing, all right, great, awesome, it's gonna heal, dude. That snake fucking fully healed, has its scales back completely. It has a little bit of scar, and it freaking sired 2 of my clutches already. You know what I mean?
But I'm sure that was your first animal you would be bugging out though. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was the first animal that I had sick. I ain't gonna lie, and I didn't know what but I had that stuff on standby because I did my research. I'm
exactly.
like, I can do this. I did it. He made even my mom was like, dude, that snake's gonna die. I'm like, the snake's not dying on my watch. I'm like, I don't care.
Mom. So negative, Mom.
Yeah, I put it on paper towels, kept all the stuff off of it. Freaking it made a full recovery, healed it. It never came. He's doing great. Never came back.
Negative towards the snakes though.
I tell you what though, at one point and stuff, like I have more in that snake and vet bills and medicine and stuff like that, getting him alive, keeping him alive, than I did what I paid for that snake.
Same, man.
I have all the receipts for that, and I don't care. I do not care. Why? Because he was now he's breeding. He lives a happy life, and honestly, I'll never get rid of him. Why? Mm-hmm. Because I don't want him to get it back and someone not know how to take care of it, because there's still that possibility. 100%. If he already had it once, I would never get rid of him. He'll be one of the ones that I always keep, because I don't want him to die under someone else's care, because I worked so hard to sit there and keep him alive.
Yeah, and that's like I mentioned before, man, about selling animals, man. You want to make sure they go to the right people, and it's hard to pinpoint who's the right person when you're selling animals for $50. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes especially at expos, you talk to people.
Yeah, when they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy a cage next week," it's like, "What are you doing it now?"
I talk to people at expos and stuff. Like, "Oh, like I'm looking at this steak," and you just know, you can just get that vibe.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
so I feed it crickets. Right?
Oh, dude, Carr had one where someone was trying to feed one of his baby ball pythons a freaking like quail or something.
I mean,
like a bird.
They can, but man, if you're talking about a hatchling, man, they're like, what the hell is this?
Oh yeah,
what is this?
We're talking about a hatchling.
Baby chicks. So
yeah, we're talking about a hatchling, and he's like, dude, you gotta see this thing. He's just like, oh my gosh, like, I think about, I wonder how the snakes that the ones that first started, that bought my very first ball python off of me at an expo. I still see them. Like, hey, how's that girl doing for you guys? Oh man, she's great. She pounds, And then I love that. I love to see how my snakes are doing from customers and stuff like that. Like, hey, how's that animal doing for you? Oh, it's great. It's so big now, and I see the ones that Will has from me, and stuff like that. Like, that's what makes it fun.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, when your animals are doing great, you're like, I made money, great, but the animal's doing great.
Right.
The animal doing great.
And in this aspect, with me having I think I've got 5 or 6 from you now. Mm-hmm. When they do breed, you'll get to see that.
I'll get to see that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm getting ready to hit my milestone where the very first girl that I produced is getting ready to breed for me. Hey, she's getting up there. Man, I'm getting close.
That feeling is so rewarding. That feeling is more rewarding than buying an animal and producing eggs. That feeling is more rewardable.
You know why? Because it took the commitment to sit there, hash that out, grow it up. You're looking at about by the time you have your first clutch. If you don't buy, I didn't buy. That was a proven breeder female that I bought, but she didn't go for the following year. So technically that was a 2-year animal. So that took me literally 4 years. I'm still working on it. 4 years. I'm 4 years into this commitment to be able to do this. And that alone, commitment, like I'm that committed to that, like where I can do that is outstanding. Like I'm not going nowhere.
Outstanding. No, man. And that point right there, man. Once someone, and that's why I look at breeders. When you breed something, hold something back, and you breed it, that's when you know you're not going nowhere.
Yeah, I'm not going nowhere. Now Will sit there and her be like, oh, I was trying something else. Like screw this. I got pissed off. Like Will's heard it so many times. Like, don't do that. Guess what? Then I come to my senses and I have a clutch. I'm like,
he is not a very patient person.
I'm not a patient person at times. You get pissed off easily.
I hear you, man.
you know, especially with the cocoa and stuff, I'm like, dude, I gotta drop my prices. And Will's like, don't drop your price. I'm like, dude, I have to because gravity chip around here is now going for 25. You know, like that. I have to compete.
Yeah.
And I did. I dropped my prices.
I mean, Pro Cocoa is still going for $20 a block.
Yeah, and I dropped my prices. You get a better product. You know, and now it's cheaper. And I freaking killed it. But dude, that's the best thing I ever did. It sucks. You know, it sucked because like I still got to import it and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm going to an expo regardless. I don't want to see people.
It's true, man. It's true.
With the competitor stuff. You know what I mean? I hate.
What were you paying on shipping?
It depends. It depends on how much they have on a truck. Because
so you buy usually get like, what, a pallet at a time?
I get two.
So when I used to get a pallet at a time, that was 45 or 55 bricks. And it used to be cost me $2,400. Which wasn't bad.
Because I think the first shipment. So I learned my lesson. So there's a funny story with this. Okay, so the very first shipment I got. Okay, so I'm like, I'm becoming. I got distributor rights around here. Did all that. I got the import license finally. I get my first 2 skins. You know, they're like, hey, we get packet with 224 freaking bricks. Fucking run it.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, they're like 200.
Yeah, that sounds right.
45 is a small skid.
Yeah, I'm like,
I haven't done it in 4 years, so no, that sounds right. If you go back to my pictures, that's about right. Yeah,
that's with a forklift though. Okay, so like like my work is cool as shit, dude. Like yes, I work 12s, but they help me out so much because they know what I'm doing. I'll have snakes shipped into my work. They'll let me leave or whatever and go drop the snake off my house. I live 2 minutes away. Okay, so like the snake can go into the rack, you know, go in the quarantine, stuff like that. And then on top of it, I'm like, hey, I got a shipment of cocoa coming in. I'll use their dock and I'll use the forklift because it's cheaper for me. And so like I'll freaking, you know, because I can get a 2,500 pound skid or whatever of cocoa. Now the first time I did it, you know, they were like, hey, like the normal skid's like 200 bricks, but Ohio has good shipping, you know, qualifications, you know, requirements. We can get 224 on there. Like freaking run it. More's better. And oh no, that was a mistake. I get this skid, dude, and I got literally 2 inches from the trailer where I'm trying to unload this with the forklift. I'm like, dude, the skid snaps. Okay, you got no room trying to. Cause I got unloaded. The shipping guy ain't unloading it because it's my product, right?
I've been there. Yep.
Yeah, so it almost freaking falls. I'm like, oh, dude, that would have been a disaster. If fucking 224 of this stuff would have fell all over this trailer. I finally get it. The skid's half broke. The other one was like, all right, because like I got the first one out. Like you know, like how those truck docks are. You know, like it's like whatever. And the skid's literally right here.
Yep.
So I'm literally, and this thing's like 9 feet high, 8 feet high, and it's top heavy as shit. Like I get it unloaded, and then me and Will freaking, you know, we're trying to get it on Will's trailer per skid. The whole skid falls. Like fucking about brace trucks, Will's truck axles almost. I don't know how it did it. You just hear this.
My whole truck go.
Oh, dude! And people in the back. I work with a small group of people, and then dude, you just hear this boom. I'm like, dude. I'm like, well, I mean, like on the plus side, it landed perfect, so like we're good.
We're good. Perfect.
It landed perfect and stuff. But like, so I'm like, this time we're going to regular skid. I'm not freaking doing 224. We're gonna do 200. We're keeping that extra 2 feet because that makes a difference. And like. That makes a difference. So I'm like, we're doing this the smart way. I'm not doing that crap next time. But I learned the hard way. Sometimes you gotta learn shit.
Yeah, you do.
They allow me to come in, back my trailer up into the work to put it on there. So
yeah, dude, my work's cool. You know what I do? Like I can ship reptiles out, you know, unless because like Will at one point he wasn't working, so he would do it for me. But now, you know, if I gotta bring in a small little cage or a cage or whatever. It sits there trying to pack it up and ship it out, whatever, dude. They're cool about it. They know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good.
I've been there for 6 years. You know what I mean? Like, but they got a seniority. Like, you know, like they're cool as shit, dude. Like they helped me out a fuck ton, dude. So I helped them.
Fired like 4 times since I've known.
I probably should have been. They love me though.
But because he goes in on Friday and does the cleaning and
I do all the dirty work on Fridays and stuff too. So
good help. It's hard to find.
It does, dude. Like it's scratch my back, scratch yours. Like
exactly.
We're not gonna, you know, like, well, hey, don't do that. But like, we're not gonna do normal because you do a lot for us. So
exactly.
Money though too. So, Let's get back to steaks real quick, man, because we've been everywhere tonight, but it's cool, dude. I love it. You want to talk a little bit about 15 minutes of lame, dude? How'd you get onto that and stuff?
I think Samson was that Samson Stinkatorium. Man, I always forgot his. Yeah, he was talking to what's his name about me on one of the shows. And he's like, hey, you should have him on. And I'm like, and then Chris reached out to me, like, hey man, how you like to be on? I'm like, yeah, no problem, I'll go on. And I don't think he realized I've been doing it so long. He's like, I think you should have had your own episode and not really been doing a 15 minutes of lame thing. And I'm like, hey man, I'm cool with anything. I'm very humble. I don't look at myself as a cocky person. Like, hey man, if you want me to do this, I'll do this. If you want me to do that, I'll do that. Whatever you want me to do, it's your show, it's your thing. I'll do whatever the hell you want me to do, man. I don't care. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So we went on it, did it, and I think it's cool, especially this year. If you win, you get a belt, or you get your name in a belt. Yeah, and I think you get like a Super Bowl ring if you win. So at least this year you actually win something. All the other years, if I was part of one of those other years, I probably wouldn't do much because you get some recognition, but man, I want to win something. I don't want to just do something,
It's pretty funny because like that Brian was like, oh, freaking, get demonic reptiles. I'm like, yeah, he's your competition. On a podcast, like you know, like, if you join us and stuff, you haven't been on the podcast because you work second, but whatever, bro. Like, look at
Brian's bro. It's funny, man, because we all got put into a group chat, and then Brian started going off, and I'm like, who the hell is this guy? He's so annoying. Like, who is this dude? And he just kept going off, and I'm like, I'm looking at his shit. I'm like, I was thinking of some of the judges. I'm like, am I being trolled? Like, are we being trolled? Is this dude legit? He's like, man, he's legit. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna kill him. Like, I know Chris was trolling us. I'm like, who is this dude? Like, he had the biggest mouth running over, talking so much crap, and I'm like, I never heard of you, but now Brian's cool as hell. I like Brian. He's cool.
Yeah, he sent that tribute video with that
was funny.
I was like, bro, God, that's hilarious.
He's like, watch until the end. I'm like, oh, come on, how long is this? I'm like, okay, that was funny.
And you watch it, oh fuck, dude. You're like, oh my gosh.
That was hilarious.
It was funny
because
like, I'm like, but at the same point in time, like, if I'm sorry if Chris watches this. Sorry, Chris. Like, if you talk shit, you can get shit too, dude.
No, that's what it is.
He gives a lot of shit to a lot of people, and
you gotta be able to take it if you're giving it.
Take it back, dude. And apparently, or whatever, Chris can't take it back. So I mean, fair game, dude. If you talk shit, you get shit. That's just how I am, man.
That's the way I'm looking at this contest, man. Like, I feel like in the contest, I know none of you guys are in the chat. I feel like the chat is very scared to step on people's toes, and I'm like, hey man, this is a competition, man. Like, I'm going at everyone's throats, If I come in last, I came in last. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just think
at the end of the day, we're still friends. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right,
that's the way I look at it. Yeah. We're not curing cancer or saving lives or stopping world hunger. So who cares? We're just having fun.
Whether you win or you. Brian got yelled at. Yeah. Whether you win or you come in last place, your name still gets out there because Chris Eaton has a big following.
Exactly.
And that's why I said that, because Brian got yelled at. But at the same point in time, like, Chris Eaton will sit there and he'll dog people, and he brings out the disrespect in people. And he'll sit there and he'll give people shit, which, it might be fun in games and stuff like that. But at the same point in time, like, if you're gonna give shit, you gotta be able to take shit.
Exactly.
That's why I look at it, man. Like, even I think Brian was like talking about my weight. I'm like, bro, I'll be rabbit myself right now, man. I don't care. Like,
right.
I'll talk shit about my. I don't, bro. If you're gonna come back with fat jokes, do better than that, man. Like, you gotta do better than that, man. Like, I'm not.
So funny though, dude. Like everything's fair game.
Oh no, yeah, everything's fair game. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, you gotta go harder than that, man. Like, that's the way I look at it.
You're not gonna get the reaction from me that you think you are if you're gonna call me fat. I know I'm fat.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was funny.
Exactly.
It was funny though because Eaton over there was like, oh, freaking, like, the AI logos and stuff like that. He brings up.
Oh yeah.
So like Brian came back that, I'm like, all right, like I see. I'm like, dude, if you can't talk, if you're gonna talk shit about Brian, you gotta be able to take shit.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I'll be honest.
I think Brian right now had the biggest hog on his back. I don't know why. Well, I know why. He was the biggest shit. He was the biggest shit talker. But I respect the shit out of it.
Yeah, but some of the stuff Eaton does say is legit. Like, you know, like the one video he did, like with make sure you tell all your friends about the bell that you made and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
Make sure you did that fire, you know, that clown that you produced or whatever. Like, that's fire. Like,
yeah,
you know,
call everything fantastic and amazing. Like you found the cure of cancer. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, dude, I was fucking dying, dude. But yeah.
No, it was great, man. It was great.
But it was great. I mean, at the same point in time, you know, I get where Eaton's coming from too. But like I said, if you talk shit, you gotta be able to take shit. That's just how.
And I think in this hobby, man, like a lot of us like don't know how. Like we're all trying to be professional, but we all want to have fun.
Yeah,
so it's like to do both is really hard. You know, it's really hard.
How far do you take it?
And that's the problem, man. Like I now because my girlfriend said if I'm gonna do this, I need to consult everything with her because I can go really, really dark. And I look at everything. I look at everything as a joke. Everything to me is a joke. I love George Collins. I love a bunch of I love comedian shit, man. Like that's why I watch 24/7. So I can go really, really hard. But again, I don't know where someone, you know, where the headspace is at. And I don't want to be someone where I trigger someone into like really thinking I meant it, you know.
For sure.
Like, bro, at the end of the day, man, we're just breeding snakes. But if I,
you're just having fun breeding snakes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, I think it's funny, but you think it's the meanest thing I've ever said in my life. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry, I didn't know it was that bad. But yeah, you're right, man. Some people could take it. Some people could have a good time with it. And some people just like, you know, like I said, like I mentioned earlier with that group chat, man, a lot of them are just like tiptoeing around each other. And I'm like, let's see how far this goes.
Yeah, it's a competition at the end of the day. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on the podcast, Sonny.
Anytime, man.
Stage, it was fun. 2 hours and 20 minutes into this. I don't try to run past 2 hours, but
that's fine.
It was a good conversation and stuff. So I'm gonna go eat and stuff too. So guys, everyone that's still tuning in, thank you for tuning into the podcast. This Morphing Around podcast has been our episode. It's been great. Roll that intro video one more time.